computer just so it's yay. So you guys will see the little recording icon in the corner of your screen so that you know it is recording.
You absolutely can come back, Linda.
Yeah, you can come on and come back as you need to. If you have a meeting or anything like that, feel free to jump off, jump back on. That is the beauty of having an all-day symposium. You have that kind of freedom.
Yes.
So thank you for asking that as well, because that's definitely a good comment to share with everybody. So that being said, we will introduce ourselves and welcome to our second annual Virtual Wellness Symposium. Yes. The theme of this one is rebuilding your wellness, because I know after the past year, I'm sure we are all just out of it and our mental health is just everywhere at once. I know mine is. I know being isolated and having to stay inside and not being able to socialize brought up a lot of stuff for me. What about you?
I mean, for me, I think it was hard because you had this big situation that everyone's dealing with, and then we have our own life chaos, you know, and so it's really important that you keep a mind, you keep an eye on your mental health, and especially now that things are starting to feel not back to normal, but a little more there.
A new normal.
You want to make sure that you're ready and you're prepared for the world and people.
So that's what we are here to help you with, is to help rebuild your wellness after the past year of being stuck inside, stressed out, you know, things like that. Yes, Fred did ask that he was able to share his screen. If you are a presenter here, we will allow you to share your screen. I will make you co-host. You will be able to share your screen, talk, and interact with people just as if you were one of us. Yes. So we put that trust in you, Fred, and I know that you will do very well with it. So yeah, that's kind of what the theme of the symposium is this year. Last year we had a week long of breakout sessions, presentations, and it went really well and it was really fun. But we thought to scrunch it down to a day because the week was a little bit, it was a little bit much. But nobody else was going outside, so it worked.
Yes.
And so we are going to get started. I am Amanda Stoddard. I am the communications director here at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. I do a lot of the communication stuff, so all the social media, the techie stuff, if you will, and just kind of do what I can to bring us all together in person and online.
And hi, if you don't know who I am Emily Westermeyer. I've been here kind of doing everything for a bit. Right now I'm working through AmeriCorps, and I am a job and employment coach, and I am also a GED prep coach. So if you need any help with that, hit me up. And I will be starting some counseling soon.
Yay!
So we are going to be getting some counseling going on. Which
yay! That's really exciting.
It's really exciting. So yeah, we are just really excited to share all of these wonderful presenters and breakout rooms with you today. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be stuff that I think can help us all.
I agree. It's going to be really, really good stuff, and I'm just really, really excited about it, and I'm excited to have you all here with us. And I did want to let you guys know that towards the end of the day, we will be doing a little bit of a raffle. We will be having time for questions, and if we do have presenters, feel free to chime in when their presentation is over. Raise your hand, we'll unmute you and ask any questions that you have. We have a pretty good free-flowing day today, so we have a little bit of extra time to work with, so that's really exciting. So yeah, feel free to get involved as much as you will. Use the chat. Jenny, you are in the meeting, so we do have you in here.
Yes.
Let me see if your video is on. Your video is on.
Yes,
we can see you. I just pinned both of us to the main page so that you guys could see us big and large. And we have Chris, our executive director, joining us. Really exciting that he popped into chat. Chris is our executive director here at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. So what we are going to do now is tell you a little bit about ourselves. And we have so many videos and things available on our YouTube page if you want to go check those out. So what better way to share what we're all about than hearing from somebody that you guys are already familiar with. And who is that, you might ask? It's me. So you're going to watch me tell you what the Recovery Center is. And let me... Hi. This one's really fun. I love this video. We did it for, I think we ended up doing it for the state of Ohio at one point. So I'm really excited about this video. I think it's fun. It's quirky. So yeah, you'll learn a little bit about us through this video.
Yes.
So
Can't hear anything or
yeah, if you guys
know.
can't hear anything or can't hear us, because you know technology is fickle, please type it in the chat and let us know.
Yes.
Hi, welcome to the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. My name is Amanda Stoddard and I'm the Director of Communications here. Welcome in. We are a peer-run organization located in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we are dedicated to providing mental health and wellness services to the individuals we serve here in the Cincinnati community. Since May of 2006, we have been dedicated to providing mental health and wellness resources to those who may feel stigmatized by their diagnosis. Our main goal at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County is to help individuals who struggle with their health and wellness gain access to resources that can help them improve their quality of life, enhance their skills, and really maintain their recovery journey. We pride ourselves on being a peer-run organization where individuals can feel validated and empowered, because we believe through community we can all find healing. The Recovery Center offers wellness-based classes every day from 9 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. These classes help with life skills, developing mental health and wellness tools, and really just aiding in the recovery of our members. We're dedicated to providing a holistic approach by focusing on job readiness, personal growth, creative expressions, support groups, and community involvement. Since August of 2019, we have been providing classes on our YouTube channel so that those who can't make it in the building still have an opportunity to learn valuable skills and coping techniques. With the onset of COVID and the stay-at-home mandate, the Recovery Center had to adapt to meet the needs of our members who were stuck at home. Since March of 2020, we have provided various online classes via Zoom, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. We know that recovery isn't a 9-to-5 job. It's something that happens 24/7, so in order to meet those needs, we also provide 2 after-hours peer support groups at 2:45 and 7 p.m. to provide accessibility to those who may not have it during these trying times.
What peer support really means to me is I have whatever I may be going through or whatever, I have someone here to help me through whatever the situation may be as far as being a peer support person. You know, we have those here at the Recovery Center, and I am able to talk to them. And so that means a whole lot because some people just don't have that support that from someone that knows way more than they do and are able to help them in the situation that they're in.
We hope you enjoyed the tour here at the Recovery Center. As you can see, there's so many things we have to offer the community and our members. Thanks for joining us, and you can learn more about us by visiting us online at recoverycenterhc.org.
So that is a little bit about the Recovery Center. And if you guys have any questions about the Recovery Center, our facility here, our organization, how you can get involved, how you can get involved in person or online, you can visit our website, recoverycenterhc.org, or put your questions in the chat and we will get right to them.
Yeah. Or you can always call 241-1411 and we can help you and get you started.
Yeah, Brian's at the front desk this morning.
Yes.
So if you have any questions, you can always give him a call and he'd be happy to answer any questions because he's been here for a while.
Yeah. And the people at the front desk are always so amazing.
Always great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friendly faces when you first walk in.
Friendly faces everywhere in here, honestly.
I love that. Yeah, I actually talked to one of the students. We do have students volunteer here sometimes. And I was talking to her yesterday. She was like, you know, when I was coming here, that's what I was like really worried about is like the camaraderie and like feeling like I fit in and all that kind of stuff. But she was like, you know, the second I got here, I just felt really comfortable and it was just so easy to integrate myself because everybody's so nice and friendly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's so great. Like, I love to hear that. And we hear that really, really often that, you know, it just feels like friends here.
Well, and it's important to us too, because I know that we wanted to feel that when we first started here too. And,
Exactly.
you know, everyone that's come in the door, whether they've been staff or members, we've all started from a different spot. And so it's nice to know that everyone here is going to meet you where you're at.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that we consistently say we meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Because I think that's great, you know, depending on what you're struggling with, you come in that door and once you get there, we're here to help you out. We're here to connect you to resources and provide you with peer support with people who are just like you. And I think that's the great thing about the Recovery Center is that every one of our staff members has been through something. So you come in and just by happenstance, you'll probably meet somebody who's been through the same things as you. And it's great. And I'm really excited about our new term.
Yes.
Because we have so many great classes going on online and in person. So if you do want to look at those, feel free to check our website and go to our schedule page.
Yeah, and it's always nice that, even during break week, we always have fun stuff going on. And, every 10 weeks, we change it up a little bit so that there's something new for you. So you always got something new that you can learn. And that's amazing.
Yeah, which I love that. And also, speaking of break week, it is break week this week at the Recovery Center, and we are actually downstairs. If you guys know the building, we're downstairs in the overflow room right now being presented on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
So I may run out and run down there just to make sure that the volume is good and everything's good downstairs because we want our members to be able to get involved even when they're in the building, because this is an online symposium.
If we're on TV, does that mean we're famous?
We are famous.
Okay.
I think we are.
I just wanted to make sure that, if people come up to me asking for autographs, I know what's going on.
I actually had that happen to me at a wedding that I went to over the summer. Somebody came up to me and was like, hey, I actually watch your stuff on Facebook all the time through the Recovery Center. And I was like, oh my God, stop, I feel famous. I really didn't. I didn't know how to act because I was in my normal people clothes and I was dressed for a wedding and I was looking all nice. And then somebody comes up to me and recognizes me from work. I'm like, oh my God, I got to put on my work hat. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
So
amazing.
It was really funny. It's the first time that's ever happened to me. I think the first and the only time that's ever happened. And probably will be the only time that ever happens to me, but really cool stuff.
News.
That's true. We have been on the news before, which is really
on
exciting.
The news for our help during the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, we're on the news twice.
Yes.
I felt famous for a minute.
We're a big deal.
Yeah, we're kind of a big deal. It's fine. All right, so we will get started with our first breakout session. We wanted to put yoga at the beginning just to get ourselves a little warmed up. It is like a full body yoga practice, but if you want to do some of the moves while you're sitting in your chair, you could do that. It just shows you a little bit of what we do here at the Recovery Center. Cheryl, we call her YouTube star Cheryl Morgan, because her yoga on YouTube is some of the most viewed video we have on our YouTube page. I think it's around 200 people have viewed that video.
She's truly a star.
She really is a star.
Shining
superstar. Yeah. And she always has so many people in her class. I think that this term she actually has 7 or 8 people already.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's amazing. And she does great work. And so we woke you up and she's gonna settle you down.
She's gonna settle you down, get you ready. All right, let's do it. Let me get the video set up first. Share my screen, share the sound. All right.
Hi, welcome to the Recovery Center of Hamilton County Yoga. My name is Cheryl Morgan. Today I'll be guiding you through a brief meditation, breathing exercise, and a little bit of stretching, just to get you set for your day if you want to do yoga in the morning. So let's just start with our hands on our knees, back tall, chin up, thumb and forefinger together. We're going to take a few deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. So inhale 1. And again. Last time. Very good. So then we'll just place our hands in prayer pose on our chest. And just imagine that you have a bright ball of light above your head. Bring that light from the top of your head down to the center of your chest and be illuminated with light as we go about this practice. So again, just place your hands on your knees. We're just going to rotate our upper body over our knees for Sufi swirls. This will loosen up your back a little bit, get you on a nice rhythm. And opposite direction. And back to center, back tall, chin up. Let's roll our wrists forward, one direction, loosening them up, opposite direction, and hands on your knees. Roll your right shoulder forward and backwards, left shoulder forward and backwards. Now both shoulders forward, gently making small circles, and backward. Hands on your knees. Take a deep breath. Look to the right, stretching the left side of your neck. Back to center. Look to the left, stretching the right side of your neck. Back to center. Head all the way back. Chin to chest. Back to center. Take a nice deep breath. Now place your left hand by your left thigh. Your right hand goes by your right hip, and just gently turn your body to the right. Kind of gaze into the right direction, back to center. Now this time I want you to place your hand just a little bit further back and try to look a little bit to the side of you to the right. Back to center. Now this time we're going to place our hand behind us. Try to look behind you without hurting yourself. So just gently look behind you if you can. And back to center. Take a deep breath. Right hand goes by right thigh, left hand by left hip. Gently turn to the left. Back to center. Hand back just a little bit further like last time. Look to your left. Back to center. Hand back behind you. Look behind you if you can without hurting yourself. And back to center. Very good. Left hand by left thigh again. Your right arm is going to come up. You're going to lean to the left and look under your right arm, stretching your right side. Back to center. Right hand by right thigh. Your left arm is going to come up. Lean to the right. Look under your left arm. Back to center. Let's bring our right arm up again. And then left arm up again. Back to center. Very good. Hands are in prayer pose in the center of your chest. You're just going to interlace your fingers. Inhale up. And exhale back down into prayer pose. Nice, gentle, fluid motions. Let's try that again. Interlace your fingers. Inhale up. Exhale down. Back to prayer pose. Hands in the center of your chest. Very good. Now let's get on our back with our knees up in the air. And just rest in this position for a moment. Feel how the mat or floor feels on your back. Just bring both of your knees to your chest and rock back and forth to massage your spine gently. Loosening up that lower back. And then you're going to place your feet on the floor again, flat on the floor. Take a nice deep breath. Now your right leg is going to come up straight and you're just going to pull forward gently. Not too much where it hurts. Just a nice gentle stretch. And then you're going to swing your knee outward, stretching your inner thigh. And then you're going to swing your leg to the left to stretch your right hip. And back to center, feet flat on the floor. Let's try that with our other leg. So you're going to bring your left leg up in the air, pull forward. Swing your leg to the left. And And then to the right to stretch your left hip. Try to keep your shoulders flat on the mat when you do this pose. And back to center, feet flat on the floor. So now what you're gonna do is straighten your left leg, bring your right knee to your chest, stretching your right hip. Point your toes for a deeper stretch. Switch legs. And back to center, feet flat on the floor. So now you're gonna bring your arms to a T. Your knees are gonna go to the right and your head to the left. Nice full body stretch. Back to center, knees to the left, head to the right. Back to center, feet flat on the floor. So now straighten your legs and bring your arms above your head and really reach with your arms and point your toes for a nice full body stretch. And back to center, feet flat on the floor. Let's come up onto our bottoms again. And now what we're going to do is the butterfly stretch. So now for the butterfly stretch, you get on your mat and then you just place the soles of your feet together, lift your chin and stretch your back up tall. Very good. Keep your left leg bent, straighten your right leg, and just reach for your toes, your ankle, your calf, whatever you can for a nice gentle stretch. And then you're gonna place your hands in front of you. Inhale up. And then exhale down, tuck your chin for a deeper stretch. Really breathe into it. If you feel some stretching in your hamstrings, just breathe into it until it releases. One more time, inhale up. Exhale back down. All right, switch legs. So your right leg is bent, your left leg is straight, and just reach for your toes, your ankle, your calf, whatever you can for a nice gentle stretch. And then we're gonna place our hands in front of us again. Inhale up. Exhale down. Back to center. Inhale up. Exhale down for a deeper stretch. Very good. Let's take another deep breath. So you're gonna have both legs in front of you and just reach for your toes, your calves, your ankles, your knees, whatever you can for a nice gentle stretch. And back to center. Very good. Let's work on some breathing again. I'll walk you through a brief meditation. So we really want to open up our chest when we're breathing. So you want your shoulders back, your chin up. You're going to feel breathing in your abdomen, and this will relax you. So just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And now imagine you're breathing in white air and blowing out black. So everything, that negative energy, you're blowing out and you're breathing in cleansing breath. And exhale. So let's just go back into prayer pose. I appreciate you taking this time to do a brief meditation and yoga stretching with me today. And I would just like to say that the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.
So I don't know about you guys, but my heart's really full after that.
I know, the light in me sees the light in you. That's so sweet.
It's very pure.
I love that.
And I don't know if you saw our camera on during the yoga. Amanda couldn't figure out her right from her left.
I was trying to mirror Cheryl, so when she was going left, I was going right and vice versa.
But I mean, you were getting some good stretches.
I was. It's really hard to do yoga in a chair, but
Yes.
we made it work somehow.
We did it. We got some leg stretches. We got some arm stretches. I really liked the breathe in the white air, breathe out the black.
That was really nice.
Seeing that picture in my mind made me feel like any worries just exited my body.
Yeah, because when you experience, this is just like a little fun neuroscience fact, when you experience, trauma and there is things that are stuck in your limbic system, that are stuck in your fear center. A way to connect them from your fear center to your prefrontal cortex or your thinking brain is through picture. Picture is the one surefire way that if you're feeling worked up or anxious or really activated, doing a body mandala, thinking about where you feel it in your body, giving it a name, a color, or some type of visual picture really helps you get your thinking brain back online so you can kind of use those coping tactics and kind of help calm yourself back down. So that's why that practice works so well, because it's like a clear visual.
Exactly.
So good stuff. All right, it is about that time. So we are going to introduce you to our next presenter. Her name is Sharon Fitzpatrick. Yay, we love her so much. She is wonderful and amazing. And let me unmute her so she can speak to you all. Let's see if that works. Can you unmute yourself now, Sharon? There we go.
Yes,
Yay!
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is really so amazing. I really just enjoyed that yoga. And as a side note, I need to get her contact so I can join that online yoga that she does. And Amanda, you and Cheryl, you guys are awesome. You just seem like so just regular, comfortable talk show hosts. You know, I could watch you guys forever, and you're entertaining and informational. So kudos to you all.
Thank you so much, Sharon. We appreciate that. And are you going to need the screen share option for your
No, you know, I think, well, I'll use I statements. I'm PowerPointed out. I thought about it. I was like, I'm not gonna do that to them, but I did want to talk to everybody about, I know you guys wanted me to talk about the expansion of services and the impact of COVID. I didn't follow directions. I apologize. But I thought it was important for us to talk about, as we're transitioning back into our new norm, what does that look like for us?
Yeah.
You know, like after staying at home and distance from people, you know, social gatherings for over a year, we may have anxieties. You may have anxieties about returning to the new norm. And what does that look like? What does that feel like? Can we trust the new norm? For those of us who were mask compliant, can we trust walking around without a mask now? And then how do we deal with going back to face-to-face services? So returning to normalcy will require us to embrace shaping what our new norm is for ourselves. So this is a person-centered talk about creating our new normal.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. So we will go on mute and you can take it away, Sharon, and do your thing.
Okay. So as a person with lived experience, I often say I just want to, you know, I always share that with people. So as a person with people with lived experience, from time to time, we feel like we're the only one. Even though intellectually we know better, it's just that our heart and our minds don't always connect. And that is why support is so crucial as we begin to define our new normal. So you may be saying now, Sharon, doesn't the CDC define our new normal? And I will say, yes, they do. They define the guidelines for returning our society back to normal, but they really don't define or dictate how we operate within those guidelines. So their guidelines are important. I don't want that to be misunderstood, but how we apply those personally to us is what I want us to get in touch with. So, you know, I love examples. So we know that the CDC says we can now go to restaurants and department stores and theaters with no mask if you're fully vaccinated. So for me, that sounds great. But I get to decide how I engage with those entities. When I choose to go into a department store, even though I am fully vaccinated, I have decided to wear my mask until I feel comfortable with the stats around COVID. For me, I decided to go into restaurants that will honor my wish to sit 6 feet away from the next patron. Some can accommodate and others will say, nah, we got to make money, lady. We can't skip these tables for you, ma'am. So then I get to say, thanks, have a great day. No heat, no ill will. Just me deciding what my new normal is looking like. For another example, when I go to the park, for the most part, I don't wear a mask, but I do keep my distance 6 feet from other people. If someone's coming my way, I have the option to veer off to the left or veer off to the right, but at least I'm outside doing what I like. So while we're shaping our new norm, it's important for us to make sure we stay connected with others. This helps us to cope because this new norm is not just, it's not an isolated event for all of us. I mean, for individuals, it's for all of us. We're in this together. So while mental illness and addiction are difficult to deal with, there are ways to manage difficult emotions and feelings that come along with the addiction. We simply need to connect with others and to avoid, if all possible, complete isolation. While you're shaping your new normal, find out what your options are in every situation. Let's say Amanda invites me to her house for dinner. Great, and thanks so much for the invitation, Amanda. I'll ask Amanda, are you going to be practicing the CDC guidelines? Then I get to decide if I want to go or not. She may say, all of us are vaccinated. I get to decide if I'm comfortable with that. Well, Sharon, some of us are not vaccinated. And maybe I really like Amanda. Actually, I love her. I may say, well, is this an inside event or outside event? Oh, we're going to be inside and out. Well, cool beans. I know that I love Amanda. I've made up my decision. I can feel safe because it's going to be inside and outside. And weather permitting, I can go outside. So again, it's me shaping my new normal and living within what I shape. And I'd like to encourage people while you're shaping your new normal to ease back into things. If you're not sure, begin slowly to incorporate yourself into re-engaging with other people and activities that you enjoy. I talked about going outside. Most of the time we spend our days inside with work or school or, even in our cars. Taking a few minutes to breathe fresh air and get in the outdoors can really help us recharge and have some time to ourselves. There is value in getting sunlight. Whether you choose to eat a meal outside or go for a walk outside around the block, or maybe take your dog for a walk or a run, or take some work calls outside if you can. The combination of fresh air and sunlight can be beneficial to us daily, on a daily basis. As we are establishing our new norms, as we are creating and developing shaping our new norms, establishing healthy boundaries is essential. Establishing healthy boundaries, establish those boundaries and engage in activities that support your recovery and your physical well-being. It's okay, and it's important that you know that you can respectfully and politely say no to others to avoid compromising situations that can jeopardize your wellness and recovery. And engage, I'm encouraging you to engage only with people who genuinely support your recovery as we transition, as we are transitioning into this new normal. I think that taking care of our bodies is important as we transition into the new norm. It's easy to hit the snooze button on our alarm clock, skip breakfast, and rush out the door to start the day. It is just as easy to stay up late and eat junk food at night. Taking care of our physical health is an important part of maintaining our emotional and mental health. Taking care of our physical health is an important part of maintaining our emotional and mental health. When we jeopardize our physical health by not eating balanced diets, not moving our bodies, or not maintaining healthy sleep schedule, we are likely to become irritated, exhausted, and engage in self-harm behavior. Like for me, that's negative self-talk, because I can really beat myself up. I can really beat myself up good. But it's really important for me getting outside and getting that sunlight and taking care of myself and making sure I'm getting an adequate amount of sleep at night and incorporating fresh vegetables and fruit in my diet. It really helps with my anxiety. And believe me, I know anxiety has hit everybody through COVID in some way, because this was just a traumatic experience over the last year. And so we have to figure out ways to help soothe ourselves, nurture ourselves. They're telling us we can dip our feet back into the water and become quote unquote normal. We have to do things that are going to help us to alleviate, lessen anxieties as we move into this. Also, I wanted to, it's important for us to drink a lot of water each day. I love cooking meals. I prefer to cook home cooked meals than eat out. But I love drinking the water, cooking my meals, and then getting outside and do a little bit of walking every day to help myself. And I just want to encourage you to prioritize your self-care. Self-care routines allow us to embrace both the challenges and the victories that come with recovery. Practicing self-care and recovery is crucial to developing healthy coping skills and relapse prevention. And the more time you spend taking care of yourself and paying close attention to your mind and your body, the easier it is for you to be able to detect early warning signs when something may be going awry. And I want to encourage you to always, always ask for help when you need it. Seek support. It's essential when returning back to our new normal that we continue with our recovery practices and plan. Participate in support groups. See your doctor if you need to. I'm not telling you anything that I don't do. I'm not sharing anything that I wouldn't do. But whatever you know to do in your heart that you need to do to stay well, I'm encouraging you to do that. I'm encouraging you to stay empowered. We always talk about person-centered models of support. Keep yourself in the driver's seat. Don't let anybody push you out of your driver's seat. You get to decide. Incorporate the CDC guidelines, yeah, incorporate them, but then apply them to you on a personal level and encourage your friends to apply them to themselves on a personal level. My brother loves going to theaters. He says, well, the CDC says we can go, you can come. Yeah, I can, but I don't think I'm going to go this week. I'm going to wait a few more weeks to do that. And always find your voice, your advocacy voice. What's going to keep you safe? Find that voice and use that voice. My mom used to tell me, you can say anything you want to say it. It's just how you say it. we can turn somebody down gracefully. Like I can turn Amanda down gracefully for not coming over to her house for dinner. I can turn the restaurant owner down gracefully for not wanting to accommodate me. And this is me shaping my new norm. And that is a transition. It might be this way today. It might be a little looser or a little flexible in 2 months. But the bottom line is my message to you is to shape your own new normalcy. What's normal? My mouth don't want to work. Shape that, reduce isolation as much as possible, and focus on yourself a lot. As providers, folks that work, we have given a lot of ourselves. The community was looking at us, you, Kathy Trick. They were looking at you, Amanda, you, Cheryl, you, Chris. They were looking at you for help and support and be strong because we're going through something. So they were able to show vulnerability when we had to keep on our strong faces, have to have the answer to everything. If we didn't have to have the answer, we had to have the energy to go find the answer. And at the end of the day, we were traumatized too, because they gave us superhero capes to put on. And you count too. You count too. So I just wanted to bring that back to everyone's remembrance and empower people to continue to take care of themselves and decide what their new normal will look like as we move forward. And I thank you for your time, but I do have some other stuff to share with you. But before we transition to that, I wanted to give some updates about what's going on at the department, just a couple of shout outs. But before we do that, I love dialogue if we're allowed to, if Amanda will let anybody, if anybody has any comments or questions or something to add, I'm willing to hear it and let's dialogue about it, and we're just appreciative to hear anything. I see somebody's hand up. I see Christine Mollett's hand up. Do you see it, Amanda? Oh, there must be a lot of people on there.
I do not see it, but if anybody would like to give a comment, question, anything like that, you can do the little reaction and raise your hand. And if you do raise your hand, we will ask you to unmute, and then you'll be able to unmute. I think you might be able to unmute already. If not, let me know.
Kathy says no.
I don't know if it's a mistake, if she has her hand up or if she really is trying to say something. Christine Mollett, M-A-L-O-T-T. Okay.
I hit it by mistake. I'm trying to turn my volume up a little bit.
Okay, Christine, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, if there are no questions or comments, I just wanted to take a couple of moments to give you all a couple of updates from the department. You know, I really didn't introduce myself, did I? Everybody knows I work on the peer service team. So typically the department's peer service team, hosted by yours truly, hosts peer support statewide calls the first Tuesday of each month from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So out of our call the last time, okay, my boss is texting me. Out of our calls the last time, we decided that we wanted to have work incentive, benefits planning, training during that time. And so we extended that particular time for 30 more minutes so that we could have 90 minutes. And so the peer service team also works with the employment team at the department. So one of the employment specialists are going to come and do the training on July 6th from 10 to 11:30. Now the training is actually going to be from 10 to 11, but 30 minutes left for questions after the training. I sent the flyer out to our networks. I'll be happy to forward them out again. Please submit them. Certified peers can use this training to get credit for recertification. And if you're not certified, that's okay, because you may work with people that would benefit you from learning and hearing this information that you could help. So you can still come. So I wanted to share that. And I also wanted to share that the Peer Support Conference, mark your calendars, it's on a virtual platform. It's going to be August 24th and 25th. So mark your calendars for that. We've sent out call for proposals for workshops. It was out in the news now a couple of weeks ago. You may want to take a look at that if there's anything that you would like to add. Let's see. Also wanted to share that the certification application process for peer support is going to be lifted up to the e-license platform. The estimated time for that to kick into effect is October or November in this year. So that's going to be really exciting. So people won't have to call, email, did you get this? Did you get that? They can simply upload it, just like other credentialing boards do, and you'll be able to get certified. You won't need to know the status and all of that great stuff. So, and this is a part of the peer expansion work that the department is committed themselves to do. We want to make things more professional. And so I think that's really going to be great. Another part of the peer expansion work is we are redoing the Ohio Administrative Code, and our certification process is going to include the adult, like we already have. It's also going to include young adult, because our children's office is working with Youth Move and other folks to have a young adult curriculum for peer support, and they're going to get a certification. And parent peer support is going to get a certification. There's going to be 3 different sections of one certification that's applicable to those disciplines. So there's a criteria for adult, a criteria for young adult, and a criteria for parent peer support. So we're trying to streamline that and make things more easier to access and understand. So that's coming down the pipe. And also there's an RFP out right now for curriculum development writers for the adult peer support and the young adult peer support. So we're trying to elevate the workforce. So we got to elevate our trainings, and a lot of great things are going on. And then currently, and they're targeting colleges and universities to respond to those, to write those curriculums. And then we're also working right now with corporate college to revamp the E-based academy courses. We want to make those more professional as well. So there's a lot of great work going. There's never a dull moment. I see you, Amanda. I did the happy dance too. Yeah. So those are the things that are going on. Again, if you have any questions or comments, I'm here. I don't know if Eric Edwards actually has their hand up, or is that a mistake? I don't know. Well, okay. If there's no questions or comments, there's about 9 more minutes left. I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the Recovery Center of Hamilton County for putting on this wonderful symposium, putting all the hard work into it. I appreciate the work that you're doing, and just so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. We appreciate that. And so much good information. So like the setting the boundaries is so important, and it's really difficult for me personally. So it has been a lesson in strength and personal self-love and perseverance, because I'm always like, I don't want to let people down. But you know, it helps my anxiety at the end of the day to advocate for myself and to stand up for myself and set those boundaries. So
Absolutely. Wonderful.
I think that's a really good lesson.
Yeah, because we haven't been really socializing for the past year. So it's hard to remember a lot of, you know, it sounds silly, but it's hard to remember what we're comfortable with.
Yep.
And there's all these new situations that we got to worry about now. So it's important to make sure that you're prepared ahead of time.
Yeah, especially for someone like me who is an extrovert. Being, you know, away from people and not, you know, socializing all the time has really thrown me for a loop. So it'll be really interesting, you know, kind of slow baby stepping my way back into socialization and interaction and things like that. And I will uplift for everybody that it's okay to go at your own pace. And if you're still not extremely comfortable coming in to places, specifically the recovery center, we do have brand new online classes you can get involved in directly from home. And if you don't know how to do that or need additional assistance setting up, just call us or, you know, email me or anything like that, and we will work it out with you. Does anybody have any questions or anything for Sharon before we let her go? You can type in the chat and I'll unmute you or wave at me with your video or anything like that. All right. I think we are okay. Thank you so much, Sharon. We really appreciate you stopping by and joining us. It was a wonderful presentation and it's always great to see you.
You're very welcome, and it's been my pleasure. You all have a great rest of your day.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. We love Sharon. She is awesome. I can't believe she told me that she loved me. I feel so special and I feel so loved. So it is time for our next breakout session, which is Art with Mary. So for this breakout session, she is making paper cranes, which is really exciting. Yes. So what you will need is a pen or a marker and a piece of paper, and you have to cut it into a square. So it's got to be like an 8x8, doesn't have to be perfect. You can always take like an 8x11 and fold it and remove the little strip if you need to, which is probably what we're going to do with some of the extra paper we have over there. So I'm going to run and get some scissors for myself. So we will take about a 5-minute break so we can all go get the supplies that we need. And then we will do some art together.
Oh yeah.
Yay. So see you guys in 5 minutes. All right, and we're back. So what I did was I got this cute pink paper. It's an 8x11, but I just kind of folded it a little bit like this, and then I'm gonna cut it. And I think that'll work. I think that'll work just as
This
well.
looks like a square, right?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Fabulous.
It's just gotta look like a nice square. I don't know, does that look, I think yours looks more like a square than mine. I think mine looks too little. Does mine look too small?
It's a little elongated. Wait, do we cut at the fold or do we cut at this part?
That's a great question. Let me like open it and let me see the fold. No, probably right here.
Yeah, because that looks more like a square.
Yeah.
So cut where this folds over, cut right here.
So let me
To
do
get you
mine
started.
a little bit smaller. Try to make it more square, if you will. All right, that looks pretty good. I think that's, I don't know if I folded it too straight, but
Your
we're
crane will
all
be-
in this together.
Your crane will be perfect either way.
Thank you.
It's still learning something new. I've never made a paper crane before, so I'm really excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited to see my unknown
I think that works.
crane making skills.
That's a really terrible straight line, but we're just gonna roll with it. Also, I wanted to add in about the COVID's impact and the expansion of services. I think that it's really interesting that we are able to like live in a world where we can do online stuff now, where we can, you know, have phone calls with our therapists and have phone calls with our doctors, or, you know, have video chats with our therapists. It's really like, in a weird way, it feels kind of awkward, but I think it's great that we have that accessibility and that option, especially when transportation is such a struggle for a lot of individuals. And so having that option, I think, is one of the positives we can take away from this whole thing, if there are any. But I've noticed that it's really, really helped me with my accessibility and, you know, just being able to connect in a brand new way. And it shows that we're all able to adapt in times like these. So
Yeah,
I
it shows
just,
resiliency.
yeah, so I just wanted to uplift that in everybody. So we have our square pieces of paper. Mine's a little bit on the wonky side. Yours looks a
Square.
lot better. Wow, okay.
It even matches my nails, so.
It does, look at you,
Like,
you're on
you
point.
should have gotten it together.
I know, I should have gotten it together. Okay, so we're gonna show you our next breakout, which is Art with Mary. She's gonna show you how to make a paper crane. All you need is a square piece of paper and a marker. I have a highlighter, not a marker. I'm, you know, I'm not fully on par, but that's okay. A highlighter, a marker, a pen, whatever you want to use will work. So let's get this video up and going. And we will do some origami with Mary. I've never done origami before, so this is probably going to be very awkward for me. So we will have to see how it goes.
Got a marker.
Yay.
Good morning and welcome to the symposium. I was tasked with a creative project and I thought it would be fun to make a origami crane. So the origami crane has been around for about 10,000 years or so, and it's believed that 10,000 origami cranes will grant you a wish. So I would like to believe that one origami crane can grant me my wish. So we are going to learn how to make one. So what you need is a square piece of paper. And I have this pretty purple color. And the first fold you're going to make is a diagonal. And you're going to make a diagonal fold and crease it. Okay, so you just crease it like that. Open it up. And I got a pencil line through here so you can see the actual crease. The next fold I'm going to make is an opposite diagonal to that. So we're going to make it the other way. And we're going to crease it the other way. And when you pull it apart, then you will have another fold going across like this. So those are your diagonal folds. Now, we're going to fold the paper in half, but I want you to flip. I want your fold, the fold
Okay, we are gonna pause it and play it like we did last year, just because we're trying to get our square right. So what I did, because she wanted to fold it in half, I just kind of folded it in half and then cut off the edges so that I can actually fold it in half. So it's, a square now.
Oh, wait.
Mine looks a little odd, but you know what? We're all different here. We're all unique in our own way, and mine is just gonna be very unique.
And
So.
I thought my square was perfect, and I was
Me too, it looked great.
Quite wrong.
It looked very great. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit because I was stuck at this part. So we'll
Yes.
go over it again.
Square piece of paper, and I have this pretty purple color. And the first fold you're going to make is a diagonal. And you're going to make a diagonal fold and crease it. Okay, so you just crease it like that. Open it up, and I got a pencil line through here so you can see the actual crease. The next fold I'm going to make is an opposite diagonal to that. So we're going to make it the other way. And we're going to crease it the other way, and when you pull it apart, then you will have another fold going across like this. So those are your diagonal folds. Now, we're going to fold the paper in half, but I want you to flip. I want your fold, the folds that you just X'd, I want them on the bottom. Because now we're going to take the paper from the bottom to the top and make that crease. All right, and crease it hard and make sure the corners perfectly match. Right, so you took it from the bottom to the top. And once again, I'm going to take my marker and go through the top so you can see where these folds are supposed to go. Then, so that was from bottom to top. Now we're going to go from left to right. And once again, crease it. And crease it really hard because this helps makes the folds easier. So there we go. And we will once again mark it so we can see. It'll help us to find the folds. So there we go. There we go. Now take your paper and put it in a diamond so the point is facing you. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your sides and bring it in together, and it will fold in to make a square. And so the point is facing you. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring your sides and bring it in together, and it will fold in to make a square. All right, so we just made a square. I'll do that again. So we have our square, and we're looking at our diagonal folds. So we're going to, with the diamond at the bottom, we're going to fold, we're going to pick it up and fold all those folds in, and it makes a square. And the flaps are down here at the bottom facing you, okay? So next, we are going to start on the left side, and we're going to fold that and bring it to that diagonal fold all the way to the center, and then we're going to crease that. So that's with the left side. And we're going to do the same thing with the right side. So we bring it up. And there we go, and we're going to crease that. Now we're going to the top triangle here. We're going to fold it over because this will help us with another fold further down the road. But we're going to fold that over. Okay, we're gonna fold it that way. Now, we're gonna flip our diamond over and we're going to repeat those folds. So I'm going to begin with the left side and bring it into that diagonal, the original diagonal fold. So that's the left side, and now I'm going to do the right side and do the same thing. Okay, and this triangle at the top, once again, I'm going to take it and fold it facing me again. And we're doing that, like I said, so that when we get further down the road to another fold, it will have the crease to make it easier. So with that said, let's open up our diamond. And you're going to see that I'm going to trace this fold here on the left, and I'm going to trace the fold on the right. Then I'm going to lift up, and the fold that's on the inside here, I'm going to highlight that. So I need to turn it around so I can at least have some sensibility of following the line. And then once again, I'm going to trace this fold right here. So we're tracing that fold right there. And we'll do that on our other side. So we're going to open up those flaps and we're going to trace those folds so we know what we're working with. There, oops, there we go. All right, so now what are we going to do? We're going to take the top flap, we're going to lift it up like this, and you'll see a mouth looking kind of thing. And the corner side, just kind of push it in, and those folds that you just outlined is what you're going to fold. So that's what you're going to fold. And you do that. So I just did the right side, and now I'm going to collapse the left side. Okay, and this is what it looks like. And then you're just going to bring it down. All right, so now we're going to flip our card over, and we're going to do it again. We're going to pick up the top flap. Pick up the top flap. And we're going to, for sake of consistency, I'm going to fold in the right side. And then I'm going to fold in the left side on the lines I just made. So that is what we have. Now I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to take, and the triangle is going to be in the center. The triangle on top, you know, and the two flippies are going to be on the bottom. So we have.
We are just briefly pausing while me and Emily figure this out. I got rid of mine because it was a really awkwardly shaped one. I didn't make a square. It's more of like a rhombus. So it was not working out.
It's all up to me now.
So we're going with Emily, and Emily is the winner here.
I don't know about winner. I'm trying my very best here.
So if you're doing it along with us, that's great. If you're just watching us for entertainment, that's also great, because we are here for that. And completely understandable. We are here for that.
Okay.
All right, are we ready to continue?
Yes, we're ready to continue.
Okay. Thanks for being patient with us, y'all.
Have the little feet down below, right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this corner and we're going to bring it into the center. And we're going to fold it as such. And we're going to do that on the left side as well. So you're going to bring it, take that corner, take the flap, and bring it into the center. All right, there you go. So, and we're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. We're going to take it and go from the outside corner and fold it into the inside. And then the last one, you pick it up, and we're going to fold it into the center and bring it all the way down. And we have completed the fold. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take and bring the right to the left and the right to the left. As you can see, we got, it looks like this. We have a little feet up here. Now you're going to notice you have a fold toward the center. So we're going to bring this up to that fold. Okay, so you bring it up to that fold. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And we're going to bring that up to that fold. All right. And once again, how we inverted it the last time, we're going to bring the right to the left and we're going to bring the right to the left. All right, so here we are. We're almost done, guys. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the wings. And we're going to bring down the top and we're going to fold it down. And you made the first wing. Then we're going to go down on the other side, bring it down, and we have the second wing. So next, we're going to make the head and the tail. What you're going to do is you're going to pull out a little bit. So it's like so, and then you're going to pinch. Okay, and you're just going to pinch that. So pull it out and pinch it. The next thing you're going to do is take the back, and this is going to be the tail, and you're going to pull it out its head, and then pinch it as well to make the fold. Now to give the crane your head, its beak and head, what you're going to do is you're going to take and turn this down, and voila, you've made your first paper crane.
All right, so we're going to compare the two.
This is
That's about as good as we could do with what we had.
it truly
We truly tried. We did it. You know, art is a great form of healing, and origami is not the easiest thing to do in the world.
I definitely focused the entire time. I was so focused and laughing and trying to make something, and I think maybe it's like a
it's like a fighter pilot
or like a belly flopping penguin.
There you go. I like
no
that
back
one.
legs.
No back legs. It is a penguin with a kickstand.
I tried my best.
Or it is a Star Wars ship.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Or
Perfect.
like from Treasure Planet.
Yes. Brian said I can make origami boulders. Yes, beautiful. And then this is what I made. earlier, because my rhombus was not working well for me.
It looks beautiful.
It kind of stopped halfway through, so right now it's just a fan. We'll just go with that.
Stunning.
Thank you. All right, so art is always a great way to, center yourself. Like Emily said, keep your attention. I almost forgot I had anxiety for that amount of time.
Right?
For the
Yeah.
13 minutes we were sitting here doing this, I almost forgot that I was anxious.
Yes.
To
think about it.
There you go. Perfect. So we want to thank Mary Hornback for that wonderful video and Brian Snape for producing that wonderful video.
And all they do in the center, honestly.
And
They're
everything that they
amazing.
do. They're amazing.
Yes.
And everyone here is amazing. And thank you.
Oh, his name is Murphy.
Oh yeah, that's right. The crane in Mary's video's name is Murphy.
Oh,
That
I
is
love
correct.
that.
I completely
That's a good
forgot
name.
to mention that, but that is true. Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, so thank you, Mary and Brian, for that video. And we are going to move along to Miss Melissa's presentation on choice theory. So let's bring her on and we will introduce her. Hello, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And you're going to do a PowerPoint presentation?
I've got one. We'll see if it works. If not, no big deal. And I have it via email. So anybody who wants it, is welcome to use it.
And we can also put the file in the chat. So if anyone
yeah, I
wants
can do
to
that.
look at it that way as well, that is.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So let me make you host, Melissa, and then you
Okay.
can get things started. There you go.
All right.
And take it away.
Okay, let me see if this works. Can you see it? Yes. Okay, good. All right. Well, just first of all, I wanted to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about today. So my name is Melissa Harmeling, and I've been at IKRON for over 14 years now and worked really closely alongside with Chris and the Recovery Center. And it's just been a wonderful partnership. And so thank you so much for thinking of me to present today. I think this spurred on by Emily and I chatting a little bit, and she kind of heard a little bit about the theory that I use behind my work with people. So my role here is Director of Program Services, but I'm a licensed counselor. And so this is kind of the theory that guides my work with people, both in the counseling sessions, but also kind of just in general in life, and just helping people, whether it's in the hallways or, in the lunchroom, wherever that may be. So just a little bit about IKRON. I think most folks on here might know some about us, but we've been around since 1969, and we help with vocational rehabilitation, mental health, wellness services, and we work with both transitional youth and adults. And we've been around over 50 years now, and we do a lot of collaborations with peer-run organizations such as the Recovery Center, Warm Line, the Mighty Vine Wellness Club, and many other organizations. So, and our goal is really to help people increase their wellness, gain self-confidence, move towards self-sufficiency, and having a more meaningful life, whatever that looks like for each person. It's going to look different for each person because we're all different. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about different roles that each of us might have. So I talked about my role as a mental health counselor, and then others might have other trained areas that they've received training in. So you might have certifications, you might be a peer supporter. So typically we receive some specific training for those types of things. We also have a role as a helper. So I think it's really important as helpers that we keep ourselves healthy and take care of ourselves. That's easier said than done. I'm certainly not perfect at it by any means, but, kind of thinking of that, like in order for me to help somebody else, I need to make sure that I'm helping myself and staying healthy. And then our role as a person. So here at IKRON, we have a little phrase that is, we're just people helping people. And we feel that that's really important to remind ourselves that we all have, you know, hard things that we've gone through in our lives. We might have our own mental health struggles that we deal with. We might have all kinds of things that have happened that we've overcome. And so no matter what kind of training we have, no matter how much schooling we have, whatever, we're all people, and we're here to help each other. So just a little bit more specifically about choice theory in and of itself. It was developed by Dr. William Glasser. So as counselors, we all kind of have, I don't know, different ways that we view life and we view people's role in the world, and that kind of shapes the theories that we use when we help people in counseling. And everybody, each counselor might have a little bit different theory that they use behind their work. I tend to lean towards choice theory as something that just comes up often in my work with people. And like I said, not only in the counseling room, but outside of the counseling room. So this was developed by Dr. William Glasser, and basically it is founded on the belief that all people have 5 basic needs: survival, freedom, fun, power, and love and belonging. And that we try to meet these needs through our choices each day, through behavioral choices. He really saw that maybe the love and belonging was the strongest one for people. That can be a struggle sometimes. People don't always feel comfortable being around other people, but there is typically the natural tendency to want to feel a part of something, want to feel loved, want to love someone else, and feel like we belong in some way, you know, to society or to a group, or even if that means the group is one other person. So the other part of this is that all of our personal behaviors and actions are a choice. And these choices can either help us move towards our basic needs that we want to fulfill or away from them. And that a lot of times we're faced with circumstances that are not our choice. Bad things happen to us. You know, bad things happen in the world that we can't control. But the idea is that we can still make choices even within those circumstances. We can make our own personal choices. And that can be very empowering for people to kind of separate that out. What are the parts that I can't control or do anything about, but what do I have control over right now, here today? So that's a big part of this. The other piece that I want to talk about before I get into the how-tos is, you know, people might have a question like, how does this work with, I don't know if folks have heard of like the disease model or medical model of how we can view substance use disorders and mental health disorders. So basically, what that looks at is that there's many factors that lead to someone struggling with one of those disorders, both genetic. So like, you know, it might just be our natural brain structure or chemicals in our brain that we're born with. And it could also be environmental. So what type of environment we were raised in, what type of environment we're in right now. But that really both those things factor into a particular struggle someone might be having. So we might say, how does choice theory fit in with that? So it doesn't contradict that. I mean, it just focuses, it says, yes, there are things that are out of our control or things that we were born with or born into, but, you know, that we still have choices each day. Do we choose to go to the doctor regularly? So you might hear like depression or alcoholism compared to managing diabetes. So they can be very similar, but what are our choices in that? If we have diabetes, are we making the choice to go to the doctor regularly, stay on our medications, make healthy food choices, those types of things? Same thing with, you know, someone that might be struggling with a substance use disorder. have I made the choice to seek help or go into treatment? Am I making the choice to go to like a peer recovery meeting every day? So that's kind of the difference between things that we can't control, but then our choices. How do we manage what, kind of cards we're dealt in life? So I just want to kind of point that out a little bit. Whoopsies, not too far. So getting into some really practical how-tos, because, again, this can be used in the counseling room, but we can also use it just in conversations with people as we're helping. We can also think about it for ourselves too. So one of the ways that we can help using choice theory is helping someone find and build natural support systems to help with belonging. This can be a real struggle, especially with COVID and with the pandemic, with everything shut down, and it just really limited options for people, and especially people aren't good with technology. I'm one of them. I'm not very good with technology. So or they don't have access to technology. Everything moving into a technical world, that can be a real challenge to find ways to build those natural supports. So what a natural support system is it's not professional help. So like when somebody comes into my counseling room, I'm providing a professional service to them, but we want to help people find natural support systems. So yes, it's important that they have their doctor, their case manager, their therapist, their psychiatrist, but they need more than that, because that, their psychiatrist isn't always available. So, so that would be, neighbors, family, friends, someone's involved in a faith organization. It could be that, maybe small groups that are formed through classes at the recovery center. Maybe people communicate outside of the classes and provide support to one another. So this is such an important thing to help people with that feeling of belonging and meeting that need. Another thing that we can do to help is when someone talks about a struggle that they're going through, definitely to empathize with that, provide the support, acknowledge it. That's a really hard thing that they're going through. And, a lot of times we can't imagine what that would be like to be struggling with, whether it's, a mental health issue or a relationship issue or, a job loss or loss of a home. I mean, it could be any number of things. But then shifting the focus to what choice can I or can you make today that will be healthy and impact the situation positively? So again, it's shifting focus away from all the things that we can't control to what can we control and what choices do we have. Sometimes it helps to brainstorm those choices, because it can be really hard to see what choices we have when we're really stressed out or, have been devastated by something. So as a helper, we can kind of help brainstorm some different options and choices. Let's see. I want to pause here for just a minute. I feel like I've done a ton of talking and I'm not sure how to work all this, but did anybody have any questions so far or anything that they wanted to comment on up to this point? All right. A couple more how-tos then. So something that, and I'm keeping this real short so that there's some time for questions and things like that at the end. But Robert Wobbelding, who actually was a professor at Xavier University, and that's where I went to get my counseling degree. I never had him as a teacher, unfortunately, but I've gone to some of his workshops. But he wrote a book about reality therapy, and it has a lot of really good skills and ways to help people using, it's kind of based off of the choice theory. So, and again, this is something that we can ask ourselves. We can, ask a friend that we're trying to help. We can, kind of help guide somebody through this process. But so I'm going to kind of do it from the perspective of myself. So the first thing to do is to ask ourselves, what do I want? What do I want? And what do I really want? Because sometimes what we think we want and what we really want are two different things. So, kind of looking at that, kind of what are those possible things that I might want? The second thing is, what am I doing to get what I want? So what direction am I taking? What am I doing here and now today or this week to get what I want? So kind of mapping that out. And then the next step is to evaluate that. So is what I'm doing helping me get what I want? Basically, is it working? What I'm doing right now. Is it realistic? Is it attainable? And then making a plan for improvement is the next step. So I wanted to kind of give a little real life example combining using the empathy and acknowledgement of a tough situation and then working through some of these steps. So let's say someone says, I feel devastated that my kids won't respect me or forgive me because of my past behaviors when I was actively using substances. I'm really sad by this. I hate that they won't talk to me or give me the respect and love that I really want from them. I didn't have all the tools then that I do now that I'm sober. So, what we might do is acknowledge, yes, that's a very difficult situation to be in. I can see where that's devastating and where that's very, very hard and makes you feel sad every day. But we can't change how they feel. Those are their feelings. So what can I focus on or you focus on today to make sure that you're making the choices to get what you want? You can't force them to be in a relationship with you, but all you can do is continue to better yourself in hopes that, they might recognize that, or they might be motivated. Maybe they're struggling with their own substance use issues, so they might be motivated to seek help themselves because you're modeling that for them. So today I'm going to go to my support meeting. I'm going to reach out to my sober support, and I'm going to put in a job application to make my financial situation better. I can feel sad and angry, but I'm not going to let that stop me from doing what's healthy for me today. I am going to recognize where I'm choosing to put my energy today. I use that phrase a lot, like, where are you putting your energy right now? We have that choice where we direct our energy any given moment, any given day. So that's just kind of a one example of ways that, if someone has a situation, we can kind of help talk through it either with them or if it's our own situation with ourselves. So I wanted to leave opportunity, and hopefully I can figure out how to get out of this. Let me see. Yeah, so we're kind of on discussion and questions. Let me stop sharing my screen so that I can see if anybody has any. Sorry, bear with me. This is where I struggle with the technology piece. I can't find my button. Let's see.
It should be at the bottom where it's, or it could be actually at the top. If you roll over the top, it'll say stop share.
Okay, let's see here. Now all I see is you guys. Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, thank you.
Let me see. I'm going to share my screen and then I'll stop sharing my screen and then that should work.
Ah, I found it now.
There we go.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Let's see. So does anybody have any questions either on the chat room or comments or if this is something that you've maybe already used pieces of this, or kind of see how it might apply to either your help with other people or for yourself.
Well, I would just say I did love that quote of what choice can I make today that will be healthy for me or impact my situation positively. I feel like with the last year, everything has just felt like it was so out of our control. And so it's nice to know, like, okay, well, there are things at all times that I can control. So what am I going to do for myself to make sure that I, can improve today? I think that's really important, no matter whether you're a helper, whether you are, someone seeking help, like that's huge.
Yeah. And I think part of that too is like some of that, what can I do today, might be asking someone else for help too. And that can be really hard sometimes for people to do, is to ask for help. But if we don't know what the answer is, or we need a support person to bounce ideas off of, that's when that might be what we need to do in that moment, is ask for help to step through it. And I think the other part is like, what's realistic and attainable, that question. So I wanted to go back to my example. Like, it might not be realistic that tomorrow my kids are going to come to my door and say, we forgive you for everything that ever happened. That's probably not realistic. So keeping in mind what's realistic and attainable can be really important. And again, that's where I think a helper can be important to, ask that question, like, is that realistic? Kind of help somebody sort through what is and isn't attainable. Any other questions or thoughts?
You can type in the chat if you have a question and we'll unmute you, or you can just type your question in the chat if you have any. We also put the slides in the chat as well, so you can download them and look at what choice theory is and just go over the slides that Melissa presented today.
Yes.
So anything else? Or you can wave at me if your camera's on and I'll unmute you. Or if you have any other questions later, let us know.
Yes.
We can answer them later, because if you, think in the middle of the day, oh my gosh, I should ask this, you can always reach out to us and we will help answer the question for you.
Well, I thank everybody for listening, and feel free to, I think I put my email address in the last slide as well, and my contact phone number. So if anybody wants to reach out, directly to me, just you were curious about anything. This was like the Cliff Note version totally of choice theory, and just to give a little bit of a taste for it, and just kind of practically how we can apply that again to ourselves or to helping others. So thank you so much for
Thank you.
inviting me and having me today.
Of course. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was awesome. I've never heard of choice theory before, so it's really cool. And I'm going to dive into research later.
It is so interesting. Like when I was learning this at Xavier in my last semester, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is about control and this is about what you can do. And like all of that kind of, I think the way that you and I had talked about it, Melissa, was there's a lot of humanness to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what is best for you to do for yourself that is going to help you. And I think that is something that can give people a lot of power. And I think that's really good.
Because agency is so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to move on now, and we are going to do our next session, which is a breakout session with Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
So some cool exercises. You might need like a yoga mat or something. Some of them you could do from your chair, but probably not all of them.
It probably won't work out as well as ours did with the yoga.
Yeah. All right. So let me share my screen with you all, share the sound, and we will let Johnny. And Johnny's presentation is actually only 5 minutes, so we are pretty good on schedule. And some of the sessions may start a little bit earlier, which could be great. So we'll just keep it rolling. And we appreciate you guys for working with us and being patient and attending.
Hi, I'm Johnny with the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. We're located in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're here to speak a little with you about exercises. It is very important to do exercises, but do not forget, you really need to go to your doctor and get his advice on what exercises you should be doing and how you should be doing them. Let me take you through a few of the basic steps. 1, you do want to concentrate on your breathing. No matter what you're doing, exercising, walking, watching TV, always breathe. Then you also want to remember, exercise stretching first. So today, we're going to go over the basics. We're starting off with crunches. Remember to always breathe during exercising. Make sure that the lower part of your back is on the ground, and you want to tighten up your core muscles, which you probably know as your stomach. Now let's do 10. If you're having difficulty getting up or down off the floor, there's another way to do crunches. We're going to take our hands and place them behind us in our lower back. Then all we're going to do is we're going to crunch our stomach as we lower our shoulders. And that is the way we do our crunches. Now let's do some push-ups. We're going to start off with the straight back, military style. Let's do 10. If you find those difficult, there are other ways to modify it. Bring your knees in. Cross your legs behind you. Go into the push-up position. And that is a modification. Another way to do push-ups, if you're having trouble getting up or down from the floor, is to utilize the wall push-up. We'll place our hands shoulder width apart. We just can come down. We're now going to do our squats. Remember to always breathe during exercise. We're going to keep our eyes on the wall again. And as we squat, we want to have our feet shoulder width apart. Now we're going to do 10. If rotor squats are difficult for you, you can always use a chair. Remember to keep your eyes focused on the wall. Come down. Oopsie. And come down. Touch the chair. Another way to do the squat is to get a decent sized ball. We're going to place it on the wall. And we're going to put our lower back on the wall. Feet shoulder width apart again, and we're coming down. And that is another way to do your squat. Those are just a few of the exercises to get you started. At the Recovery Center, we offer a variety of activities, including yoga, chair boxing, and aerobics. Thank you. My name is Johnny. Thank you for coming here.
That was great.
Yes.
We also want to uplift and thank Brian for doing and shooting and editing all of these wonderful breakout sessions.
Yes.
They're really, really great stuff, and we're very appreciative for all of his hard work. And I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm sitting here trying to talk, and I feel myself like.
Well, if you didn't see, we were doing those squats. I think we were pretty good at them, so I'm just gonna point that out there.
I thought we did pretty well. I thought we did, yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna feel that in the morning.
Yep. All right, next up we have community care and resources with Maggie from UC. She is, I don't remember her specific major. I have a brain fart. It's basically she's a community connector to resources.
Yeah.
And so she made a little presentation for us and gave us a link tree full of resources in Southwest Ohio, Hamilton County specifically. Yes, go Bearcats. You went there and I went there.
Yeah. Well, now I'm at Xavier and.
So I'm gonna put the link tree if it's still in my, yay, okay.
There we go.
So I'm gonna put the link tree in the comments for you guys. I'm also gonna put it on the Recovery Center website as well, because I think it's a great, great list of resources in Hamilton County. So if you're ever looking, if anybody else is ever looking, please feel free to use the link tree, send it along to them, or come to our resources section on our website. It will be listed right there as well once I put it up. So really exciting. So we will get to hear from Maggie from UC. And let me get the video up before I share my screen with you. And she will tell you a little bit about what she does. And let's see. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Maggie McHugh. I'm a rising junior at the University of Cincinnati. I'm studying human development and community engagement. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk today at the Virtual Rebuilding Your Wellness Symposium. I learned about the Recovery Center of Hamilton County this last spring and got the chance to meet everyone there, take some classes, and learn more about the mission of the Recovery Center. Today, I'm going to talk about what I am studying at the University of Cincinnati, how wellness and community engagement are interconnected, and most importantly, resources that you can access in the Cincinnati area, and how I'm sharing those resources with you today. In my program, we are learning about how to create a more holistic approach to human services. In particular, an approach that focuses on the individual and how communities can support people in seeking out their specific needs. One of the fantastic things about the Recovery Center of Hamilton County is that people are agents and advocates for their mental health. Picking classes is a collaborative task that becomes an individualized support system. People get to choose classes like writing, art, or support groups based on their personal needs and passions. My specific field of research and interest focuses on the individual. The most meaningful and impactful change occurs when an individual is the driver of their recovery or their path of seeking out resources. The role that is necessary in making resources more accessible is held within communities. Often resources are allocated to a select few due to barriers preventing people from accessing them or even being aware of them. The more communities work together to share resources, the communities can create systems of interdependence and foster spaces of personal growth and support. In the same way that people should have more liberty in accessing resources on an individual level, communities are the same way. Needs and services in Cincinnati are specific to Cincinnati and the people that live there. The programs that function well in Philadelphia or Detroit are not guaranteed to work in Southwest Ohio. The needs of the community are specific to the individual, specific to the community, and the services need to be created by the people that know the community and know the people receiving the services, or people being given the space to create resources that they need themselves. That is why the Recovery Center of Hamilton County is able to function so well and create an inclusive community space. The Recovery Center is created by people who live in the Cincinnati area, run by people who know what types of services need to be created, and create spaces for people to share resources. In that sentiment, I personally cannot know exactly what resources would be best for each individual at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County, because needs are a person-by-person thing. So today I compiled a myriad of resources based on the 8 sectors of wellness and sought out specific post-COVID resources as well. I'm going to talk about the 8 sectors of wellness, what types of resources I've included in the links based on those 8 sectors of wellness, and how to access those links and resources. The 8 sectors of wellness are physical, emotional, social, intellectual, environmental, spiritual, vocational, and financial. Included in the physical wellness links, one of the benefits of living in a post-COVID world is that things like doctors and therapists can be accessed online, virtually, and in any space as long as you can access the internet. So I've included links to virtual doctors that have hotlines 24/7 for appointments or to talk to. I've also included spaces within Cincinnati for people seeking out support post-sexual violence. And I've also included food security resources like food banks, pantries, where to find those and what times those can be accessed. For emotional wellness, it is in the same line as physical wellness, that there are now online resources like therapists and doctors that you can call anytime. I've also included a few hotlines for specific needs. For social wellness, this one's kind of fun and based on the classes and what I've seen at the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. Notice that art is a great outlet that people have been enjoying there, and writing as well. So I've included links specifically for communities of artists in the Cincinnati area, as well as writing spaces, and a link that includes writing events going on in the Cincinnati area. I've also included a link to a hotline for a one-on-one conversation with people that know community spaces within Cincinnati, and you can talk to them about your interests and your needs, and they can help align you. So say you're a photographer, they can help find you photography spaces. Or say you like bowling, they can maybe help you find a bowling community. For intellectual wellness, I've included links for adult education. Additionally, ways you can get certificates online. A lot of classes can be taken online and accessed through that, and you can work on also specific training for jobs if that is how you are intellectually fulfilled. For environmental wellness, I've taken this in 2 senses of the word. I've included links to community gardens in Cincinnati, and I've also included links for things like childcare and your personal environment, and taking care of that is a big part of emotional wellness and physical wellness as well. So links like childcare, links like housing are included as well. For spiritual wellness, this kind of goes in line with the social wellness as well. The hotline for talking to people in the community. If you are religious, they can help you find a church. If spiritual wellness comes in the form of expressing yourself through art or other things, they can help you find that. Vocational, again, job listings. There are resources for re-entering the work field. A lot of people in this post-COVID world are taking up different types of jobs, or switching or starting or re-entering the job field, and there's things like outlines of best ways to do that, or how to do an interview, things like that, that maybe you haven't done in a while, or you just need additional support in writing your resume, and there are links for that in the reemployment section, as well as job search and job listings in the area. and trainings as well, like the certificates mentioned in the intellectual portion. For financial wellness, again, this is housing for crisis situations. There's even specifics for if you are pregnant and looking for crisis situation housing, or legal aid is included as well, eviction resources, utility resources, and just in general, resources in the Cincinnati area for housing and financial stability. Now all these links I've compiled into a link tree, which is just a list with a descriptor of what the link is, and it will directly take you to the websites or the programs that are described. This can be done by typing in this URL into the search bar. It is https://linktree.ee/Hamilton County Resources. I've shared this link with Amanda, and you can drop it in the chat as well. And it's not exclusive to Hamilton County, but it is the greater Cincinnati area and also some national resources. Again, thank you so much for giving me the time and space to talk to you all today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is McHugh, MCHUGHMT @mail.uc.edu. I'd be happy to talk to you if you are looking for more resources or have more resources you'd like to share to that list, or have more questions about human development and community engagement or your time at Hamilton County. I'd be happy to talk to any of you. Amanda also has my email and the link to the link tree, and I'd be happy to talk to any of you, or if you just want to reach out and ask about a specific link, I'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you again so much for giving me the time and space. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoy the Virtual Wellness Symposium.
A little white line.
We're back.
Wasn't that amazing?
That was so good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I only watched like the first 2-3 minutes of it just to make sure that it was good and ready to go for the symposium, because
you wanted to keep it a surprise for yourself.
Exactly. I like to experience it firsthand, just like everybody else that's at the symposium.
Exactly.
And she did a wonderful job. She is great. Everything with the 8 dimensions of wellness and circling it back to all of her resources. Oh, we love that. It's great. It's great stuff. The link tree is available in the comments. And let me put down her email as well. Thank you for writing that down.
Yes.
mail.uc.edu, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is her email if you have any additional questions about those resources. I'm actually going to open this link and we can go through it a little bit. We have a little bit more time here. So let me share the screen with you guys and we will go down some of these resources because they're really good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So this is what the link tree will look like when you click on that link. Health 24/7 virtual video visits, which is a phenomenal resource.
That's amazing. I've never heard of it.
Me neither, because I have extremely bad health anxiety, so this is going to come in handy for me a lot. The National Suicide Prevention Line, vaccine and COVID-19 centers, health center resources, HIV/AIDS community resources, which is great, telehealth resources, Autism Society COVID resources, healthy eating guides, sexual violence, women helping women, hotline and resources, and then more hotlines for that. Community resources, Claremont resource. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So these extend just past the Hamilton County, so they are in the greater Cincinnati area. So if you are in a different county, feel free to look at some of these. A lot of these are national as well. So this is not just this is not just a niche list. It's kind of, you can get in there and do what you need to do and find some stuff for yourself.
And also, if you see something on this list that you think could be an important thing for a friend or family member, you can send this to them as well. And I mean, the idea of a link tree is that it, it kind of branches out. So branch out with this information, give it to people. I liked my analogy. Give it to people that you think could have a lot of help with this. And I mean, these are some amazing resources.
Fantastic.
So definitely share it.
I'm going to have to send Maggie a really long appreciative email
Yes.
because I was just sitting here like when she did her presentation, like, yes, queen, keep going. So yeah, these are all really great resources, and there's like crisis housing and pregnancy housing and discrimination resources, which is great. Yeah, great stuff. Feel free to share this link if you need to and want to, and utilize this link, and reach out to Maggie if you have any other questions about resources. That's her specialty, that's her niche. So I'm sure she would love to help you out with that.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right, we are running a little bit early, which is great because next we have Maria and Linda are both doing a video, a healthy cooking video. This video is going to be put up on their Facebook page probably tomorrow, maybe next week. I don't know when she's planning on posting it, but we did pull this early because her and Linda recorded it. And so this is just a little taste of kind of what we do online. Maria does her healthy cooking videos every Friday on Facebook Live at 11:45. So if you want to get some really great recipes every once in a while, feel free to go to her Facebook page. I will put it down in the chat as well. And we will play this cooking video for you guys. Feel free to watch it, take down notes, go and get yourself some lunch, do what you have to do during this time. But it's really great information, and this video will be available to you as well after the symposium. I have a playlist made on YouTube of all of the videos and stuff that we're sharing today for you to take advantage of. I will also probably upload this recording onto YouTube as well, so you always have access to it if there's a specific segment that you want to look at, or if you want to share it with your friends and family because you thought it was really great information like I do.
Or you just really liked us.
Yeah,
at the
or
very
you like the
least.
talent.
The
All right.
co-host.
Okay, so
That'll
we
be
will play that healthy cooking video for you guys, and it is about, I think, 35 minutes. So we will rejoin after that and talk a little bit, and then we will let Fred do his presentation. So thanks so much for hanging out with us, you guys, and we will let Maria and Linda do the talking. Let me pull it up here. I have to rewind it too. Share my screen.
Hi, everybody in Facebook land and Recovery Center of Hamilton County. It's Maria and Linda. Hi. And we are going to do a really fun little demo to get you through the summer heat and all that good stuff. So there are 2 days in June. One of them is Corn on the Cob month, is that right?
National Corn on the Cob Day is in June.
Yeah, and then the other one is a nice sweet treat for you, a healthy strawberry shortcake.
Trifle, little trifle.
Oh, trifle, yeah. Okay. Linda found these days.
It's not traditional strawberry shortcake because a lot of people use like biscuits or pound cake or something. So this is a little bit lighter and cool and refreshing.
Yeah. So we want to add this to your recipe, your repertoire, and you can make it at your leisure or after you watch this video. Gather all the ingredients. It's something you probably have in the house or you can get to pretty easy, especially with some of the farmers markets on the side of the road, or if you take your kids and, or grandkids for that matter, and get to a, one of those farmers markets. I don't know, or one of the places they have now? Do you know? I've been to some of them, but where you go and you can even pick some strawberries perhaps.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I haven't done that.
Yeah. Or go to a corn field and go through the little tunnels in the cornfield and stuff like that. So those are always fun. Yeah. So anyhow, we're going to get started, and it's not live today, so you can make your comments. We'll definitely get back with you, and just, I guess, sit down, relax, and enjoy, and we will proceed.
Okay. We'll get started with corn salad.
Yeah.
We'll do that?
Yeah.
And we'll start with the dressing. So basically this is a corn salad. And what ingredients do we have in our corn salad today?
Well, we have some definite lime juice, which is my Okay.
Oh, in the dressing. We're talking about what's in the...
Oh, in the corn salad?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we definitely have corn, and I know Linda's going to show you an easy way that I don't even know. I know how to cut corn off a cob, but she's going to show you an easy way. And we have some grape tomatoes, which are one of the healthier of all the little tomatoes, as far as cherry and such, and antioxidants. Cucumber, which I think you've got the...
We got the English one.
Yeah.
They don't have seeds, to peel it. There's little seeds, but they're not like the big, heavy seeds.
So it's less gassy. Yeah. Right. And she chopped that, I think, in bite-sized pieces already. And then the crumbled feta, which you can get in regular, you can get in fat-free, and I think you can get in light. I'm not sure. I've gotten regular and light.
And if you buy the block, you can always crumble it with your hands.
Right. You can crumble it with your hands if you get the block.
Yeah, but the crumbled is better than cubing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems
much easier.
And I think you get the taste better. I think when you cube it, like if you have a block and you cube it, you have to actually bite into a cube to get the taste of the feta. But if you buy the crumbled already, the flavor kind of enhances everything as you're eating it. So I prefer the crumbled in this kind of salad.
Yeah, I think if you're from Europe or the Mediterranean area, they probably like it whole. So, you know, you do your thing. Diced red onions, and it's...
This is from my porch.
Basil.
I've been growing my own basil, so I brought that in to use.
And there's many kinds of basil, but this basil is the one.
Sweet basil.
Yeah, this is the one I like.
And I use this. The thing I use this most for is when you get like really good tomatoes in the summer, is making like a bruschetta, which bruschetta is the best summer little treat you can make for yourself if you have homegrown tomatoes and you just buy the little baguette bread, toast it, and then you just chop up the tomatoes, put a little balsamic vinegar, garlic, and then fresh basil, and just top
or you
your
can
toast.
even just do tomatoes and then a thick piece of mozzarella and then the
that's not bruschetta. That's more of like a caprese salad.
Yeah. So you can do so many things with basil. Just even put it on your sandwich. I'll do that.
Right.
And so
basically that's what's in the salad. So let's just get
diced red onion too.
Oh, and the red onion.
Yeah, which gives it a nice sweet flavor too.
Okay, so you give me the ingredients and then we'll get started.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the lunges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
So
we're gonna go ahead, and it's supposed to be like 2 tablespoons, or how many tablespoons?
It's 3 tablespoons of lunges.
Okay.
And then I think you said you modified it a little bit with some vinegar.
Yeah, what I did is I made a little bit ahead of time in this jar, and it tasted a little too limey to me. So one of the things that it said you could do is add a little white wine or apple cider vinegar, and then taste it, and then add a teeny bit of sugar to just kind of offset that tartness, and then the salad dressing was perfect.
Yeah.
So basically, this is my little trick again, is there's no seeds in a lime, so I just basically put it flat.
That's probably why I like lime so much. I just had salmon the other night with the lemon juice, and it was delicious and really easy on my stomach because I wasn't feeling well. But unfortunately, there was some little seeds. So, but I just love the lime even better. It just goes so well.
And we'll see how much this makes.
Yeah.
Because 6 tablespoons, I measured it out earlier, is a little bit under 1/4 of a cup. So once we do this, we'll see. And if we need to add a little more, we have this.
Yeah, and I keep that on hand too.
Yeah,
whether I have fresh or not.
It's just fresh seems to.
Yeah, I always keep the lemon and lime juice in like that, but then I try to keep fresh when I can. Yeah. So
they always say fresh is best.
Right.
Okay, so I'll let you pour that lime juice in and give me a measurement and see if it's a little under 1/4 cup.
A little under, yeah.
Okay, we're going to add a teeny bit more, but we're not going to add too much more, just because, like I said, the other one was a little too, too limey. Okay, now I'm going to let you go ahead and add a tablespoon of the white wine vinegar, because I think it really kind of helped out. Yeah. Give it that nice little...
just a little zinger.
Yeah. And then we're going to add a little bit of, just a touch of sugar.
Yeah.
And remember, this is going to be in the whole salad, so it's not going to be too much. Okay. So that's probably like 2 teaspoons.
Okay.
And then basically, besides that, then we just need to add what always goes in a salad dressing: oil, vinegar,
Yeah.
or whatever.
And olive oil, extra virgin, that's going to be better. And let's see how
And
much
I think
she
we're going to
has.
do 3 tablespoons of that.
6.
Oh, 6. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
It's usually a 1-to-3 ratio. You're doing 1-to-2, which is fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not to name drop, but when I did that demo with Bobby Flay, I told him the exact opposite. But that's because he was doing a chef way and I'm doing a dietitian way.
Okay. How many did you put in there?
3. Or wait.
Yeah, you put in 3, but how many are you supposed to put in?
Oh, 6. Yeah. Sorry. See, I screwed up again.
I'm counting.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 more. Sorry. Yeah. So it's a 1-to-2 ratio. That's why.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But it's typically 1-to-3.
Okay. And then
I just tend to go a little lower on my oil if I can.
I'll just take the lid for that.
Oh, okay. Just because I don't want to overdo it.
Here, we'll stick this in.
You can always add more. You can't take away.
That's true. Okay, and then we have a little garlic powder and a little onion powder. It just says a pinch.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you do the pinch.
Yeah.
Just kind of
Okay.
put a little, and I'll do the pinch of the, you got the garlic, I got the onion.
Yep.
Okay.
And
There
if
you
you
go.
have fresh on hand and you have to mince it really fine, you can do that. If you don't, then it's always nice to have this on hand, which I do and she does.
Right.
So it's great.
Okay. And then salt and pepper.
Yep.
We'll just do like, this doesn't come out too fast. So.
No, we
There you
learned
go.
that from a
Yeah.
previous demo.
I know.
And I was right. I didn't ever do it.
Okay. And then, yeah, the pepper. Sometimes the pepper really makes it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Well, I'm a pepper person.
I think we should taste this too, because that way we can adjust if we need to. And that's one thing, is always taste your dressing before you add it. Because once you add it, I think it's a little harder to...
To make it coat and blend properly.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's a good point. I don't always do that. I should. You're right. In school, regardless of what program I was in, nutrition or chef, I had to always taste.
That actually tastes really good.
Oh, wow. That is delicious.
It's good. It's got the tang, but I think just that little bit of sugar, it was like, what, 2 teaspoons?
Yeah.
I think kind of took
It just
the
cut
edge
it.
off that.
Just cut it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would like this on probably many different salads.
Right.
It will work. It's so versatile.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing, I forget what we're doing. We're doing a corn salad, but it would work on a pasta salad or a bunch of different things.
Yeah, for sure.
So keep this dressing in mind for many things.
Yeah. If you have one of these, like, old-fashioned, this is from...
I know what that's from.
Good season
I know.
Italian dressing.
But no, you can use, and they're very inexpensive, you can use one of the ball jars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Just put the lid on. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put the salad ingredients in.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you grab me those things out of the way, or just push them out of the way. And then while she's pulling these things out, I'm just going to show you really quick how I did 4 cobs of corn. And what I did first is I went ahead and cooked it on a grill pan. So it has a little...
I was wondering. I was just going to say, grill your corn if you can.
It's got a little bit... You got some, like, little teeny pieces that have, like, a little scorch mark on it. It adds that...
It just sort of, like, what Johnny grills it, sort of toast it, like.
Yeah, it does. It's
Did
really
you
nice.
just buy a grill pan?
No, I've had one for...
Oh, okay.
20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I used to, and I need to really get one for
Right.
my gas stove. Yeah.
Right. Well, I saved one of the cobs just to show you what I do.
Okay.
If you have a bundt pan,
which I do,
the nice thing that you can do is set your corn right on top of this, and it kind of holds it in place. If you want to, you can kind of put it down
that's
this way
even
as
better.
well.
I think the smaller end.
I like this way better
You do?
because I can see where I'm cutting better.
Oh, okay.
And then as
That
you
is
cut,
so great.
it goes straight into the bowl. It
This
doesn't
is
go
wonderful.
all over the counter.
Because mine goes, I do it on a cutting board, and it's like I got to really contain.
Oh, yeah. If you do it on a
Yeah.
cutting board, all of a sudden you got pieces just flying
I did,
everywhere.
and my pets were loving it.
Yeah, so you can see a little bit of the grill pan marks here.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it just adds to the flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have a grill, you see, I get every corner, but if you don't have a grill pan,
okay, that's like 2 kernels.
Can you do that on a different type of pan, Linda? Like,
yeah, you can do it in a skillet if you want.
Yeah.
But what I would recommend before you do it in the skillet, or it will take forever, is I par cook my corn.
Okay.
So it's half cooked, and then I kind of cook
so it's
it
sort
up.
of tender, and then you just toast it in a way. Yeah.
So here I have, I
Totally
did not
cool.
miss a kernel on the table.
Yeah.
My table's clean.
Excellent.
It's in here. So I'm gonna let you just dump all
Yeah,
that. This
yeah,
is
I
4
love
kernels.
this tip.
Yeah, 4 kernels of corn.
I love this tip because I
You
did
just
this.
pour it all into the bowl here.
Oh yeah, I was doing this just recently when I made my last video that did not pan out on the minestrone soup, and the corn was like, oh boy, a little bit everywhere.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you really quick. If you want corn on the cob and you don't want to put on a pot of boiling water, this is the best way to cook corn. If you have a microwave.
Yeah,
You take your microwave and you have to, with a cob, if it's like already got the husk and everything off, is wrap it in a paper towel and then run it under water. You don't want it just a little damp. You want it soaking wet.
Oh really?
Soaking wet.
Okay, I just
and then
did
you put it
moisten
on a moist, microwave safe plate
Right.
or a paper plate.
Right.
Pop it in your microwave for 3 minutes. Pull it out. Check to see how the doneness is with just a kernel. And then if it's not done enough, do it for another minute or so.
So you take a little fork and poke.
I just poke one, or else sometimes I'll even just like cut a little end piece off, just, and then do a bite test. Because you don't want it to be mushy, but you don't want it to be so hard that you
just
can't
al
eat
dente,
it.
sort of.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so first we have the corn, and then the next thing we want to do is just add all your veggies, and
tomato.
Yeah, the grape tomatoes. If they're big, you cut them in fourths, and if they're small, you cut them in half.
That's what I did.
So I've got them both ways. And then we have the English cucumber, so I did not peel it.
Right.
And this I do
a lot of fiber. If
I
mean, you can peel it if you have a hard time chewing.
Bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
Kind of like the same size. We're doing the same size again. Now, of course, the corn isn't the same size, but
right
now then we have some red onions, and that gives it a nice little bite.
Yeah. So just if too much fiber bothers you, or you have a hard time chewing, then I would take the peel off, or you can take fork tines and sort of go down it. Do you ever do that?
I've never done that.
Oh,
actually.
I do that.
I've never done that.
Yeah, I always do that.
Yeah. So basically, we have a beautiful, colorful veggie thing. Maria knows what everything's good for.
Yeah. You got your lycopenes, your vitamin C. You've got the vitamin A. You've got fiber.
The corn is a starch, though, right?
It's a starchy vegetable. The rest of them are all very low calorie. The onions are excellent, and they're healthy for you, and they've got a lot of antioxidants as well, especially the purple ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a ton of nutrition.
I'm going to let you toss this. I'm going to put a little, we're just going to do less is more right now, and then we'll throw the, okay, I'll let you toss that a little bit. And then one thing I was going to mention is, if you want to make this a side dish, great. It's perfect in the summer. You don't even have to worry about refrigeration, because there's no vinaigrette, there's no mayonnaise.
And there's no protein.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to make it more into a meal, add it with you
could add some beans. You could have some chicken.
Well, black beans or any kind of beans if you're a vegetarian. But if you're not vegetarian, grilled chicken, salmon, those kind of things. They're kind of light and summery.
Yeah.
And actually, you can use this dressing and marinate your chicken in it. And then, so make it up ahead of time.
Yeah.
Marinate your chicken. And when you marinate chicken, you have to do it at least an hour or two or overnight.
Right. Yeah.
Don't go more than a day.
Now, if they're tenders, they probably get a little mushy.
Yes.
Yeah. So you want to do like a whole breast.
A whole breast.
And then
cut it. Or you can do it, you can marinate the tenders.
Overnight?
No, not overnight.
That's what I'm saying.
No, just
for
like
a
an
little
hour
mushy.
or two.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put a little bit more, because it looks like there's
just a teeny bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
then
then
you could probably double the dressing, especially if you're doing like skewers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can go ahead
and I'll tell you one other tip. I made something somewhat similar. If you're somebody that likes really hot, you can go ahead and add some banana. Well, banana won't make it hot, but banana peppers would be nice. Or if you want to go with the jalapeno or something like that, that would really spice it up. You do not have to, but if you're somebody that likes hot, that would be something you could add.
Right. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to top it off with some basil. After you can go ahead and throw on the feta cheese.
Okay.
And while you throw the feta cheese on.
You want me just about half?
Yeah, you just, eyeball it.
Yeah, because you can add more later.
You can always
that way
add
it won't
more.
Get too mushy.
Yeah, and really feta cheese is awesome because it doesn't really get mushy.
It doesn't, but I just thought, so it's, we're not going to eat all this now.
So I stack my leaves up.
Yep.
And then
she's
what
got
I
it.
do
She's got it on.
is, of course, everybody knows if you've ever done it before, you go ahead and roll it.
Roll it like a cigar.
But what I do is I don't like really long strands.
Yeah,
Because otherwise it's hard to eat, and then you've got strands of basil coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. Some recipes will call for it.
Cut
Some
it
will.
down the middle.
Mhm.
Yeah, most of the time, if you're using the long strands, you're not eating them; they're more garnish.
It's more for photography.
I do things more for what we call
practical reasons.
Yeah, we're gonna eat it, and we don't want to eat it with big strands of green coming out of our mouth.
And if your friend has some, please tell them if you're their friend.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you.
That's the worst. Just smile and then go home and see what you have in your teeth.
Okay, so now we have some nice fresh basil.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this will take it over the top because
It will.
there is nothing like
The feta
fresh
and the
herbs.
basil in particular. That's what's so nice about fresh. And my basil from your son is doing well. My cilantro is doing well.
Awesome. Doesn't this smell like summer though?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, it smells like summer.
This is just a bowl of summer celebration and fun.
It's delicious. Okay, we're gonna set that aside and let that marinate a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go ahead and get the dessert going. And the
Okay.
dessert is gonna be like individualized. We'll just say it over here. Okay, that's not a big deal.
I got it.
And then we'll try everything in a minute.
Yeah.
These are gonna be little individualized trifles. And what trifles are is layers of.
You know what? I did something like that with the Girl Scouts about 30 years ago.
Okay.
As part of my dietitian training, you have to do stuff with everybody in the city practically.
Okay.
I really did. They loved it.
Well, I make trifles all the time, and sometimes
Yeah.
I'll make trifles in a big. I have
Well,
a trifle bowl.
Yeah.
And then you layer
Me too.
everything in the trifle bowl, and
Yeah.
then you serve it out of that.
Yeah.
But this is nice because, well, especially with COVID and everything. I mean, I know everything's opening up.
Well, that's the
but
individuals.
it's nice
Yeah.
to have individuals, and
Sure.
you know, you can make them ahead of time and then take them with you somewhere.
And that's what we've been doing at the center, is doing individual things all year.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll show you the ingredients first, and then after we show you the ingredients, now this is a store-bought angel food cake. Usually this is against my religion. I make my own.
Yeah.
But
I know she
in
does.
this,
And she makes an excellent homemade.
in this, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It tastes just as good.
It does.
Yeah. So we're going to use this, and what I did is I took it out and I tore these all up in little cubes, and I just did it with my hands. I didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Clean hand.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And then we have some strawberries, and these are organic strawberries because what is this? Strawberries are the what?
Dirty dozen.
Dirty dozen. So now she scared me when she told me that, so I buy organic all the time now.
There's the dirty dozen and the clean 15.
Well, you know what? These were only like a quarter more.
Yeah.
So 50
it's
cents
worth
for
it.
2 containers.
It's worth it.
And what I did is,
Wait, you're learning, aren't you?
yeah, I diced these into almost like what you would call
It's
small
like
dices, like if you would make a fruit salsa.
Or a salsa or a compote.
And the reason you like this is for this thing is when you're actually eating it, you want to be able to get a little bit of everything. You don't all of a sudden want to deep reach down and then get like this big hunk of strawberry in your
Or
mouth.
just a big piece of angel cake with nothing else.
Right. So we have the angel food cake, we have the strawberries, but what we have to we need is the cream filling.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can just use a regular light Cool Whip if you want,
Mm-hmm.
but
Or even a sugar-free Whip if that's on your
right.
plan.
And you
plan.
I cannot have sugar-free products because
yeah.
I'm not allowed to have any kind of artificial sweetener.
Yeah, and I can't either because of my migraines. But if you're diabetic and you're concerned about the sugar content, then that's fine. Go ahead with sugar-free.
Definitely do it if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not allowed.
And look, some of them have the Splenda, some have aspartame. You know, look for what works for you.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make a white chocolate mousse. And don't let the word chocolate scare you. This white chocolate, what it does is it gives your cream just a little bit of something, like a little flavor. Yeah, without being just kind of a bland taste. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it a mousse. You can make any pudding in a mousse. Let's just say you decided you don't want to do a white chocolate and you want to use your angel food cake, but you want to do like maybe a lemon.
Yep.
Do lemon, you can add a little lemon curd to it, little lemon jello, then you add a little like Cool Whip.
Yep.
It gets, and then lemon and blueberries go together. So instead of strawberries, layer in blueberries.
Right.
So there's already 2 different ones you can do for the 4th.
Sure.
You got your red, white, and blue. Yeah. And it looks really pretty because we're using these clear cups that anybody can buy, and they're nice because they're throwaway.
Yeah. And we have these at the center too, so
Yeah. I'm gonna let you grab the
Yeah.
milk
Mhm.
and the light Cool Whip.
Right.
So basically what you do is just take a small box of your pudding mix. Like I said, any flavor you want. You can do vanilla, you can do anything. We're just gonna do, this says to use 2 cups of milk. We're just gonna use 1 cup. And the reason we're doing 1 cup is we're gonna use Cool Whip to go ahead and make it moussey. It makes it light and fluffy.
Now, if you need to use, which I know, Linda, you're usually using lactate, or if you have to use almond milk, I would use the unsweetened if you can. And then, of course, there's oat milk. There's all kinds of milk. Soy milk, you know, you can use.
Right. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to use half this container. So it's an 8-ounce container. We're just using 4 ounces.
Your husband is, right? So.
Yeah, that's what John drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and make the white chocolate pudding into a white chocolate mousse. And it's beautiful because it's just so much fluffier, like airier.
Yeah.
You know, and you just kind of, and you don't need to get out a what do you call it? A hand mixer.
Right.
And
you can just whisk it.
I mean,
Sure.
and you want it like this.
Yeah.
While you're making them.
Yeah.
The reason you don't.
That's
want
like a soft peak.
Yes, but what you don't want is you don't want to make it and put it in the refrigerator because then it's harder to go ahead and layer.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're gonna have fun. Now we're gonna go ahead, open this angel food cake.
Yeah.
And you know what we might need is this.
It was even on sale.
Oh.
$1 off.
Guess what?
Did you
It
get
was
that?
$3.99 on sale for $2.99.
And you had a coupon.
And I downloaded $1 off. I got this angel food cake for 99 cents.
Whoa!
You can't even get a dozen eggs for 99 cents, and you need a dozen eggs.
She got $2 off.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo! Woohoo!
Okay, so basically what we're going to do, we'll do 2 each.
Okay.
Just to show you how easy. I'm going to need a spoon for this, sorry.
Yeah, that's
just
right.
like if you go in the right drawer in the front, then
wash my hands
you can get like a nice bigger
Paranoid
thing.
touching.
Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to start with a little bit of the angel food cake on the bottom. And you don't want to do a ton because you're going to do it like a couple layers. And then we're going to do it right in this order. Then we're going to put a little bit of the strawberries. I'd say 2 spoonfuls.
Now the strawberries are really not going to count as a carb. The angel food cake, it's really light and fluffy, and it's not, I would say, I would count 1 carb by the time we get done here. Okay, maybe 1.5 if you're diabetic.
Yeah.
All right, between the pudding, the strawberries, which are essentially not really a carb because there's not enough there. Did you add anything to that?
No.
Okay, good. So no sugar.
No.
And then
They were well. This is what you do with your strawberries. First, you smell them, and if they smell good, then you buy them.
I don't buy them if they don't smell good.
If they don't smell good,
or if they look moldy or mushy or anything like that.
Right. And then what you do is when you first start cutting them, you taste one. And if they taste sweet, you don't need to add any sugar.
Yeah.
If they don't taste sweet, then you go ahead. You're going to add a little bit of
I
strawberries.
usually will cut them up, add a little water, and put them in the fridge, and then the sweetness will come out.
Right.
Okay.
You're going to add a little bit of strawberries to this.
Yeah.
And then remember, we don't want to add a ton.
No.
Because we want it layered.
Yeah. Because the serving of strawberries or any other berry for fruit for carb is 1 1/4. So this is not 1 1/4. Sorry, excuse me. This is not 1 1/4. So if you're watching your carbs, just so you know, if you're diabetic, 15 grams is 1 carb, and this is not 1 1/4 cup. So between the angel food cake, the pudding, especially if it's sugar-free pudding, and if it's fat-free milk or the no sugar almond milk, then it's going to be essentially 1.5 carbs. Okay.
Okay. Then after we did this first layer, we're going to do it one more time.
Okay.
And I'm going to add, and I just like to do 1 little layer across the top. And the reason you want the strawberries to be right next to the angel food cake is because the angel food cake, you want to get some of that strawberry juice into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have pretty much cream in the middle there. So.
Yeah. And you can always make it a little bit smaller if your blood sugars run high, just so you know, or if you're watching your weight. I would probably make it a little bit smaller. But if you're, you know, you're a child, or you're underweight, or your weight's managed well, your blood sugars are managed well, you've got a continuous glucose meter, and you can check it, hey, you're good.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to add that.
No, that's fine.
It's really important.
No, that's good. Okay. So now we're all, you can go put the lid on that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go ahead and instead of add, you can do either. You can add actually more of the white chocolate mousse on top, or what I like to do on the very top is just add
not
a
too much.
little bit.
Just a little.
That way you can kind of see
Yeah,
the strawberries still.
Yeah, just a
So
little.
this is just a little
Now
bit.
for me, this is just my preference because I don't like Cool Whip. I like, I'll eat it, but I
We'll
prefer
stop this
the
one.
fat-free Ready Whip. And that's pretty much just...
Oh, I do have some in there.
Okay, so that's pretty much just the skim milk.
Yeah.
So
This-
it's your choice.
So this one is topped with the mousse, and this one's just the light Cool Whip.
Okay.
And then I just did mine both with
We
white
got
Cool
lots of variations,
So
don't we?
if you look,
There's only 2 of us here.
they're really pretty. Well, also,
Wait, her kids are coming. Grandkids and her daughter,
yeah,
right?
they're gonna come swim in the back.
So they got a treat then.
Yeah, so they're really pretty. So
Yeah.
we can go ahead and set these aside for a minute. You set yours
Is
aside.
it's your 3 grandkids. But only one, the baby's on eat one.
No. He's only like 5 months old.
I know.
Okay.
Is he 5 months
or
already?
4 months?
Oh my
no,
God.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
They're coming so quick.
Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and serve up some of this corn salad
Okay.
and see how we did.
And we're drinking water, so everybody, I want to
Yes.
say something. Your brain is 80% water, your body's 60% water. So cheers
Cheers.
to water. It's really important. It gives you
Yes.
energy and hydrates you in the winter and the summer.
And it's refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one thing my husband always says is, he says, you know, after you drink like a soda, you just are kind of thirsty still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happened?
It also raises your insulin, and then you're hungry, and you may not even be hungry. You're just thirsty.
Okay, I'm gonna give this one more toss, and that's one thing, is if you take a salad anywhere, I don't care what kind of salad it is, retoss it, because everything kind of settles and like all the juices and everything. So you want it to be
And then you eat it, you got all this good stuff at the bottom, and you
Yeah.
can't do nothing with it.
I know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's plenty. So
Serve
that's
it
plenty
up
for
a
now.
little
Thank
here.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
And this will be really nice with some, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. Well, I like the crusty bread, like a whole grain crusty bread, but you could also, shoot, you could just have some nice little Triscuits, or like you said, make a meal, or.
Okay, you just talk while I eat.
Yum, yum, yum. Yummy, yummy.
And it's so light, but you can taste the lime.
It's delicious.
It's sweet and tangy. It's like the combination is really good.
And get some corn from one of your nearby farmers. They have it. I mean, they have it downtown. They have it in your nearby neighborhood. There's probably a farmer's market. Yum.
And the corn still has a little bit bite of crisp to it.
It's really good.
But it's not completely raw.
It is so good.
It is delicious. And the feta, does that take it over the top?
No, it does.
It really does.
It does.
I'm
Oh my
telling
gosh.
you.
This is a great job, Linda. Thank you so much. She really, she really did a good job.
Well, I'm all about light and easy in the summer. Nobody wants to turn on the stove. Nobody wants to turn on the oven.
Right.
You know, like I said, if you want to just throw your corn in the microwave, go for it. Or if you're cooking outside, cook them in the microwave and then throw them on the grill. And it just gives it that little extra flavor. So there's just so many light salads you can do just like this.
Oh yeah, and it's so much. I mean, as much as I like a regular salad with lettuce or romaine or whatever.
You want to try one of these?
Yeah, we will.
Do you mind getting a spoon?
Oh no,
that's the one thing is I need spoons for certain things because
there's so many
I would have
spoons.
reached down and get into the, you know.
Linda, I told you I bought 1,000 plastic spoons for $10 because it's like I go through spoons like crazy.
Right. Okay. So what you want to do is get a little bit of everything. So I got a little bit of the mousse, the cake, the strawberries, and the strawberries are delicious.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's delicious.
Is that not delicious?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Between this and this, I'm probably good to go.
Yeah. And the thing about
I just need to get a little protein.
Yeah. You don't
later.
have to bake. I mean,
no, you don't. There's so many bakeless healthy things.
Use what the grocery store has for you. If they have an angel food cake, I'm not going to bake one just for something like this. Now, if I want it
for $1, I know you can feed the whole family.
Oh my God.
Or even your neighbors.
And it kind of makes you feel like you're a little healthy because you do have strawberries in there. But the nice thing is that we're using the low fat whip, and then the angel food cake really has no fat in it.
Right.
If you stay away from, if you have to stay away from sugar, then you can.
This is essential all fat free. Everything we have here.
Yes.
Actually.
Right.
Fat-free.
What about the feta cheese? Does that have fat?
Well, like I said, President's has a fat-free feta. Yeah. I use that for my cardiac patients. Yeah, and it's good. So you can, I mean, I can come, well, I taught a whole fat-free program for years.
Okay. Yeah. I know you did.
So,
yeah. And sometimes you can't go completely fat-free.
No.
So,
I don't recommend that.
Yeah.
These were for people that had numerous open heart surgeries.
Right.
I recommend healthy fats. So typically you want to eat, you know, the avocados, the olive oil. We used olive oil. We had a healthy fat, so I take it back. We did have some healthy fat.
And this is going to be my chicken marinade.
There you go. There you go.
Got some chicken breast, and we'll just throw it in there, and then throw it in.
And you know what, like in chef school, we always did, you know, like take all of this, the salad, and then you could actually just, what we would call shingle the, maybe if you cut the chicken breasts on a,
diagonal.
Diagonal or a bias or whatever, and then just shingle it down, and it looks really nice on the plate. Yeah, I do know some plating skills.
Yeah.
I don't show them very often.
Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't take the time to do that. I would just put the breast on.
I know, put it on the plate. But we would always you always see at a restaurant, they shingle it. But anyway, I'll tell you what, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful summer. One of us or both of us will see you again very soon. And I hope you have happy, healthy eating. From the Recovery Center of Hamilton County, Maria and Linda signing off.
Oh, that was so cute. Yay, sisters. Yay. We love that.
So good.
It looked amazing, didn't it?
Oh, we were talking about it, and I was like, I just picture like backyard and like grandma's summer plates.
Yes.
Like, that's exactly what
iced tea by the pool.
Oh yeah. There's a hammock somewhere.
There's a hammock somewhere. There we go. Sun shining down, and then you smell the sunscreen.
Exactly.
That's just the image that I was set for that one.
There's one time, well, not one time, but there was like a couple weeks ago, I had to put sunscreen on my face for like the first time, like I was actually going outside kind of sunscreen, and I was like, summer.
Like, finally, summer. I love that.
Needed.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, we do have a next presentation from Fred, and I know that he's going to do some audience participation. So what I'm going to do is allow you guys to unmute yourselves when he does ask you questions. So I just figured out how to do this just now. So you guys do have the opportunity to unmute yourselves when he asks for audience participation. You do not need approval from the host. So you can just click your unmute button in the bottom left-hand corner and say, hey, me, I'll participate. And then we will introduce Fred.
The one, the only.
The one, the only Fred. Hello, Fred. How are you?
Hello, Amanda. Hello, Emily. Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. We're really excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Let's do this.
All right.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is make you host, Fred, so then you can share your screen, because I know you got some stuff you need to share.
Perfect. Perfect. That works. How's my volume? Can you hear me okay?
It's great. It sounds really good.
Okay, excellent. I wear headsets because it sounds better. So.
It does.
Anyway, well, welcome everybody to, I guess, what have I titled this? Staying spiritually grounded through COVID. But what I'm going to talk about today really can help you at any point in your life, if you're having a time of struggle or not. I want to go into the details of kind of a spiritual practice that is really simple, but I think we all forget about. So anyway, I'll get to that in a few minutes. So I guess I've been teaching spirituality classes at the Recovery Center for, I don't know, I've lost track of time now, 3 or 4 years, something like that. So, and of course, I've been online for the past year and a half, like a lot of us have been. So I'm glad to see that the recovery center is starting to open up again. That's great. So I've been an interfaith spiritual director and teacher for about 22 years. And what I do is I help people to live more contemplative lives and to focus with greater intention on their spirituality and their relationships with themselves and whomever, and by that I mean God or spirit or your higher power, etc., or whatever, and that could be nature or the cosmos or divine mystery. There are many, many names for this that you believe in. So everybody has their own spiritual background and religious tradition, possibly. So, this is just a place to accept all of that. And the past year and a half, enduring this pandemic, has really been unlike anything any of us have lived through before. And because of that, it's really intensified the challenges and the struggles in our personal journeys of recovery. So it's really important just to take a deep breath and give yourself space and compassion and acceptance, because we're all struggling through this together. And we're not out of the woods yet. The pandemic's still going on. So just keep that in mind. So what I want to focus on today is a spiritual practice to use as a tool to help you stay grounded during times of difficulty and struggle, or not, but especially like the pandemic. And we're going to talk about savoring previous spiritual experiences that we've had in our lives. And by that, I mean times when we felt at peace with ourselves and our spirits, when we felt connected to God or nature or our higher power or our true self. And by true self, I mean, kind of your soul, who you really believe to be your most alive, most wonderful self. When we felt connected, when we felt truly alive inside, when we've experienced an inner calm and comfort inside, and to remember these experiences whenever we feel lost, anxious, or afraid, to remind ourselves that hope, strength, and life-giving experiences continually live inside each of us. And I kind of call those our spiritual anchors, these experiences. So I'm going to do a little introductory centering ritual with all of you, which will take probably about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to say a few more things, but then I'm going to get to the interaction part of this. And we're going to talk about this spiritual practice together. So for my centering ritual, what I want to do, it's real simple. I don't know if you're all familiar with the Tibetan prayer bowl. This is a Tibetan prayer bowl. And I'm going to ring this 3 times. And then we're going to take 1 minute of silence. And then I have a little short video. That's the video that I'm going to share with you. And this is a therapist, and she talks about mental health and the coronavirus pandemic and what it's been like, and just things that we need to keep in mind to really take good care of ourselves. And that's just really short. It's under a couple minutes. And then I'm going to ring the prayer bowl 1 more time. And then we'll come back and I'll talk a little bit more, and then we'll share. Okay. So I just want to encourage you to get into a comfortable position, something that's if you want to sit down, you want to lie down, whatever. And you can close your eyes if you want, and just take a few deep breaths. Just feel your body and just breathe in and then breathe out.
it's really normal to be anxious. This is really, really hard. There will be an end to this. This is not going to be forever. Figure out what you want your boundaries to be. Let's figure out how we can set them. Look for connection. We have to get good sleep. We have to exercise. We have to eat well. We have to find ways to take care of ourselves amidst the not knowing, and really letting go of a lot of what we thought was like the way life was supposed to be. So what gives me hope is the sun. To be honest, sunshine. The warmer it gets, the more hopeful I get. And history gives me hope, right? Like, people have endured a lot worse for a lot longer and survived it. My dad's a survivor of polio, for example, and lived in an iron lung for a year when he was 7 years old and couldn't see his family. That to me sounds devastating, but he went on after that and relearned how to walk and is living a full life. And when I think about, slaves, and I think about the Jews and all the persecution that groups like that have been through, that gives me hope. We're very lucky to be able to be in our homes with our families. Yes, like, you can call it war if you want to, but it's war against a virus. And we're in this war collectively as humans together. We will get through it.
So I'd like to welcome you all back after our centering ritual. I think it's really just important to take time just to kind of, get centered and just to kind of take a moment. So I just think that's very important. So now I want to get into savoring our spiritual experiences of feeling grounded. Okay. So like Perry, the speaker in this video, shared, history gives us hope, and that's really important, but we forget that. And more specifically, our personal spiritual histories and experiences can give us hope too, because they remind us of where we have been, what struggles and difficulties we have overcome in the past, and how our personal strength and courage and resilience have helped us before to cope and to survive. And not just to survive, but to become alive, And we can then remember and re-experience these memories, what I call spiritual anchors, to find grounding in the here and now, like living with the increased stress, anxiety, fear, isolation, and loneliness that we've all been experiencing during COVID. I mean, I know my mental health has suffered over the past year and a half, big time. I mean, I recently took a trip to Oregon, and it's the first time I've traveled in like 15 or 16 months. And it has done wonders for my mental health. Amazing. So I like to approach spirituality with a 3-part mantra. Notice the life you are living. And that's at the heart of contemplation. It's about slowing down and paying attention to the little things, to that little cicada that lands in your hair, I'm sure you've had a cicada land in your hair. But the little things, even, like when we eat ice cream, just noticing that wonderful cold feeling on our tongue. And then the second part is to really savor our experiences. And that's something that I want to get into with you today. And then the third part is to respond with your authentic or true self. So notice, savor, and respond. So let's spend some time now kind of talking to one another. And I want to recall and share with each other our spiritual anchors. And I'm gonna walk you through this. And then I have some suggestions for you and how to use this. So whoever would like to share, what I want to ask you to do is to share a time or an experience when you felt at peace with yourself and your spirit, and you experienced an inner calm or warmth or comfort inside, or you felt connected to God or nature or your higher power or your true self, or you felt truly alive inside. So any one of those. So would anybody like to kind of share a time? Yes, Emily?
I think one that was really helpful for me, I was living in an apartment in 2017, and it was right down the street actually. And one day I drove up to Bellevue Hill Park with my book, and it was really nice and sunny out, and I had my sunroof open and I had the windows open, and I was reading this like really kind of climactic part of the book, just talking about our place in the world. And I felt just so grounded. Like I saw the skyline, I saw little kids playing, and I just was like, okay, like this is very peaceful. This is very, like all your fears melt away kind of thing. It was really nice.
So what did you notice moving inside of you? What were you feeling inside?
It was almost like, and I don't know if this makes sense, but it's like my anxiety, instead of being concentrated into one place, kind of like dissipated throughout my body and then just kind of dissolved away. Like I could feel it just kind of spread out and then dissolve away.
Yeah, I have a
so
similar
nice
experience to that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow. It dissolved away.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I mean, it was a day like today. It wasn't too hot out, and you had a little bit of wind, and you just felt really nice.
Mm-hmm. So how did you savor that experience?
I really use that if I am really struggling. Even if it's not a nice day, I'll go to a park or something and just sit in my car and, have all the windows open if I can, and read a book that, isn't, just a random book, like a book that, talks about our place in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And that always really calms me down.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever recall this experience? Like now, I mean, you're talking about it now, but like when you're feeling upset or anxious or fearful, do you go back to this time that you had and recall it?
Yeah, I actually, I took pictures, and then I think I took like a video just with sound.
Oh, okay.
Like a sound file, and just kind of listen to, just the noises of the trees and the noises of, just the city, but how everything's kind of muted and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just kind of remember that if it's a really nice day, and even if it's not a nice day, I remember that as a calming memory of mine.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So that's exactly what I want everybody to share. That's perfect. That's a perfect example. So Amanda, did you have one? You said I had something similar.
Yeah, I have something similar to that too, especially when you're driving in your car and rolling the windows down and you're listening to some of your favorite music. There was one day when I was just having a really bad depressive episode, and it felt like the world was kind of ending, and as it does when you are in those kind of modes. And I was like, I got up out of my space in my room that I had been in for hours, got up and I put on my shoes and I went in the car, and I was driving and crying, and then this song came on, and the sun was starting to set, and it was just like a perfect kind of image. And then my clock, it read, it was like 555 or something like that, because I'm big on angel numbers. And it was just a situation where it was like everything kind of came together collectively in the same moment. And then I just felt like that same kind of calm feeling where I had cried it all out, and I was just looking at the sun and listening to the song and appreciating the 555 and letting it sink in, and then just feeling like the weight had been lifted from off my shoulders, and the darkness had kind of left.
That's almost when you cry happy tears.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, I cried all the sad tears, now I'm going to cry the happy ones.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what the song was that was playing?
It was Live Well by Palace.
Does that song have a special meaning to you?
Yeah, because it's basically just sings about, despite adversity and everything, just live well. And there's a line in it that says, the future is bright, we can ebb with the flow. And so I really like that line. And whenever I hear that song, it reminds me of my best friend, Kayla. And it just makes me feel real good.
So what's the line again?
The future is bright, we can ebb with the flow. I had to sing the song in my head.
The future is bright, we can ebb with the flow. Okay, so that's something you could turn into just like a spiritual mantra for yourself. And just say that over and over and over to yourself. Like centering prayer, you could use that line as a spiritual practice.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sometimes I think we put prayer and God or spirit in boxes, and we think, oh, prayer has to look like this, or spiritual practice has to look like this. And I really encourage people to use their imagination and their creativity to take what really they feel connected to and passionate about, like this song, like this line, and take that and bring that into yourself. Breathe that into yourself, into your being. So what did the 555 mean to you?
Well, I always am looking at angel numbers, because it's really like, so I'll just look at the time on my phone and it'll be like 222 or 1222. And it's been for the past year and a half kind of an indication that I'm on the right path, and that spirit is looking out for me, and that I'm in the right place in the right moment at the right time.
So when you see those numbers, there's a connection for you. There's a connection to spirit in those moments.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So you had this song, you had this angel number, you had the sunset. And so what did all that help you get in touch with inside?
I think it gave me hope that I was, it kind of reinforced that I was where I needed to be. I'm on the right path for me. And, because during that time I was just really down on, myself and what my purpose is and things like that. So that just kind of solidified it for me that, I am where I need to be. I'm in the right place, and that my spirit guides are always with me and they have my back.
Wow. That's amazing. So I'll ask you the same question I asked Emily. Do you recall this time? Do you go back to this time?
Yeah, whenever I'm having a really bad, anxiety day or a really bad, like depressive episode day, I go back and I listen to the song and I kind of ground myself in that moment.
Yeah, and it's really just about intention. It's about just being mindful and thinking, what are my spiritual anchors? What are some experiences that I can go back to that can ground me? So those are two beautiful experiences. Thank you for sharing those.
Thank you, Fred.
Yeah. So I want to open it up to other people. I know a couple of people have said things in the chat. Maria says rebaptized at age 30. Are you still with us, Maria? Do you want to talk about that? She's still here? I can't hear you I don't know if you're muted or not. Maybe she's not here anymore. Is Brian still here? Because Brian said, for me, it's finding pennies on the street.
Yeah, so, hey, everybody.
Hey, Brian. Good to hear you.
Yeah, good to be heard. Yeah, so for me, it's when I feel like I'm having, conflicting thoughts or doubts or anything like that, I'll be walking and I'll just happen to see a penny. And, depending on the shape of the penny, and whether the penny's like, shiny, brand new, or, it's been kind of dulled or something like that, is kind of, kind of indicators for me is, that, yeah, if it's shiny, it's like, yeah, you're on the right track. If it's got, kind of grunge and stuff on it, it's like, okay, you're still on your path, but you're not on the path that you want to be on. So I always kind of take those as just kind of like, just like little reminders from the universe to keep ruggering on.
Mm-hmm. So when you see a penny, what do you feel inside? What do you notice happening inside of yourself?
Well, it's like, cool. Okay, I'm getting an incoming message from the giant head. No, was it the big giant head from Third Rock from the Sun? So I mean, not to be flip or anything like that, but yeah, it's like, okay, this is, I'm getting something, and it's telling me things, and inside, it feels good because I try to have a good relationship with the universe. Just because I prefer to feel to live in the idea of abundance and and usefulness. And so one of my mantras is the universe finds me adorable. So I always keep that in my mind, as a way to keep me on the path. So.
That's great. So I don't want to put words in your mouth. So when you find a penny or you see a penny, is that a moment of connecting with the spirit for you?
It is a kind of connection to, the universe, spirit, source,
mm-hmm.
The big mojo, however you want to define it. I'm agnostic. I'm very agnostic. So I tend to, see things a little bit more as, not, what's the word I'm looking for? Just that there's this kind of, unknown variant. So that's just my own personal religion, personal worldview and stuff.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
It feels good because and I feel it makes me feel good inside because it's like, cool. Okay. The messages are still getting to me. So that's one of the things that is really important. I had recently just gone without seeing pennies on the ground lately, and I came upon one the other day, and I'm like, "Hey, old friend, how are you?"
That's great. So when you say it, you feel good inside. What is that goodness? What can you describe that a little bit more?
Just sort of a lightness of the spirit. Lightness of my soul. It'll make me smile. So, obviously I feel happy. But yeah, it's and it's kind of a like a little reassurance that, okay, things are going where you want it to be. Maybe you're kind of wandering from the path you should be on and going onto another path, because when you say you're off the path, you're never off the path. You are always on the path. It's just your path may take different twists and turns and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's just, I feel, it feels like, I feel like I'm being acknowledged.
You're being acknowledged.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I like that.
That the universe finds me adorable. So, just have to deal with it.
Your adorableness is being acknowledged. That's great. So I want to ask you what I asked Amanda and Emily too. So do you go back to these experiences when you're having a hard time or you're feeling disconnected?
Usually when I am feeling disconnected, I try to do something just to kind of root myself back to the connection. Sometimes it's meditation. Sometimes it's just mindfulness, awareness, like if I'm, doing a chore, just be fully ensconced in the chore that I'm doing and not thinking of, oh, I need to do this thing, then I got to do this stuff. So it's not, it's like I said, it's mindfulness, just keeping myself on, on this thing.
Right.
Not having like the distracting thoughts and stuff like that.
Right.
Other things I'll do is sometimes I'll draw or I'll write. Especially writing is what I do, is more my medium outside of like video editing and stuff. But yeah, writing is good because I can just kind of turn off my brain and just let whatever is, well, not turn off my brain, but I can, just let whatever is in there kind of get out. And, it can just be, it could be a poem, it could be a story, it could just be complete nonsense. It just is just having that kind of creative moments, which is something creativity is a huge thing for me. That's kind of my jam.
Great. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for sharing all that.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably have time for one more person to share. Would someone else like to talk about a memory that they've had or an experience that they've had? Anybody? Yeah, Linda, can you unmute?
Yeah, I was just thinking, when you played the piece, the tape piece, and the girl had mentioned the sunshine, that just clicked with me right away. And one of the things that just happened this weekend, which was that I was pretty excited about, is I got to go, hold on, I got to move for a second. My husband's vacuuming in the other room and it's kind of loud. But anyway, I love to be outside and I haven't been able to because of the cicadas. We've had them really, really bad where I live. So my mom, who lives up in Westchester, said, oh, come up to the pool. We don't have any cicadas here. So anyway, it was the first time this season that I felt like I could go out, relax, just sit out in the sun, get in the pool. You feel like you're almost like you can just let everything go. You don't feel any. I'm going through chemo and I have neuropathy in my feet. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry. 54th this week, so I'm good. But I have neuropathy in my feet, so it's hard to walk, or it's just they get numb real fast, and then you get aches in your body, and so just that peacefulness of just laying in the pool and letting everything just go. Just your pain's gone. The sunshine feels good. It's just like it just takes you away. It was just like therapy, I guess you'd say. So
did you notice any other? Did you notice any other feelings that came up as you were floating in the pool?
Just a sense of peace, I guess you'd say. It was just relaxing, and you kind of just don't worry about anything else. I think when you're home and you're just kind of, doing your everyday routine, you're always worried like, oh, okay, did I pay my bills? Oh, do I have something for dinner? Oh, is my laundry done? Oh, is my, just is everything taken care of? Where I think when you're away and outside in the sun and the water, and you don't even think of that. So I think it's just something that everybody has to do, is get out of their own little environment and move to somewhere that just kind of gives them peace, where it takes you away,
And you can be really in the moment. You can be present to what your experience is in the pool with the sunshine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it was a good day. And I think about it even today, like, oh, I can't wait to do that again.
So could this be an experience that you maybe go back to and you remember and recall?
Actually, it is something that I recall from many, many times of doing it, because it always gives me that. Yeah. I mean, just even, I can even take myself back to being on a beach or sitting on a pool, in North Carolina, or, where there's so many experiences, and every time it's just the same feeling. You just kind of feel relaxed and, no worries. That's the thing, like I even have a hard time sleeping at night because you worry so much about what you have to get done through the week, or what you have to do that day, or, I wish I could go to sleep every night on a beach or by a pool, because you know,
It's so
I wouldn't have
relaxing.
sleeping problems. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing everybody's experiences. I wanted to just say a couple more things just to help you savor these even more. And it may be helpful to write or journal about them, because by writing it down, you can go back to it later and reread it. And sometimes it can be helpful to slowly read this out loud to yourself, this description of the experience, or have someone else read it back to you while you close your eyes and actually go back to it and reimagine it in your own mind. And as you reimagine the experience, try as best you can to recall how you were feeling inside. Those are the questions that I was asking everybody. What were you feeling? What was moving inside of you? And maybe an image might come to mind, like an animal or another scene or something. So those are important to pay attention to too. And just take some deep breaths and savor the life-giving, peaceful, comforting, and soothing qualities of reliving that experience, because that can really give you a lot. So those are my tips on how to really embrace your spiritual anchors and bring them from the past into the present and help you ground yourself. I know I'm probably over my time by a minute. Do I have time for this closing poem? Or do we need to move on? Okay, all right. So I want to thank everybody today. And I just want to close with this poem. This is called A Blessing for the Inward Way. And it's written by Tracy Shaw. May you learn to dwell below the surface of the days, at home with the ebb and flow of your own heart's tides. May you find the womb space at the center of your life. There, grow wise in the sacred rhythm of filling and emptying, emptying and filling. There, held safe, may you surrender to the unknown as completely as the dark moon empties herself into the secret embrace of her beloved, the sun. There, may you cherish hope of renewal as tenderly as the crescent moon cradles the dark in the curve of her arm, enfolding, quickening with life newborn. And may you always open to the flow of love as voluptuously as the moon at full, until filled, overflowing, you pour love's gifts out into the world. So may you grow ever more intimate with the inward way, the deepening way, where filling is emptying, emptying is filling, at one with the mystery, at one. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Fred. That was beautiful.
You're welcome. Thanks.
And did we notice that in the poem, it said ebb and flow, just like the line of the song that is a spiritual anchor for me?
You should have seen us look at each other.
We looked at each other like, oh my God!
I thought of that as you were talking about that, so I thought, I hope I get to read this poem. So,
Love it. I love that. Oh.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fred. That was
You're
beautiful
welcome.
and wonderful. I loved the bowl. I just loved every part of that. It really helped ground me, and it really, helped me get ready for the rest of the symposium and the rest of my day. Really, that probably is going to get me until Monday. For real.
Good. Well, I'll do a little plug. I'm doing 2 classes next term. One, they're both virtual. One's on Thursday at 11:45, and that's spiritual healing through film. And on Friday at 11:45, it's a continuation of staying spiritually grounded. So I welcome all of you to any of those classes.
And if you want to get involved in those classes, you're more than welcome. Just go to our website, recoverycenterhc.org, and the Zoom links will be right there on the homepage on both the Thursday and the Friday little section of the online classes. So you're more than welcome to join anybody that's listed here in the symposium today. So great stuff. Really excited about that one. Oh man, I just am feeling so zen right now. Just feeling good and ready to go.
Do one more deep breath before we.
Yeah, let's all do one more collective deep breath. All right, I needed that. Yes, thank you.
How's everyone feeling about the symposium?
Yeah, give us your feedback. Do you guys like it? Do you hate it? Tell us if you hated it.
If you want to see me cry, tell me you hated it.
Jennifer said, rocking it. Good. Thank you, Jennifer. We appreciate that.
We're so glad to hear that it's helping people. I mean, even if there was one thing that really spoke to you and other stuff that didn't, we want to know about it. We want to know how next year, when fingers crossed we're in person, that we can, you know, really give you guys the resources that are going to help you to the nth degree.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Linda said, loving it. Awesome. Thank you, Linda. All right. So
who's your favorite co-host?
No, both of us together are great. I don't want to be in competition because I know I'll lose.
Like it's a competition now. Okay.
Well, you said pick which one you like the best. That feels pretty competitive to me. All right, so up next we have our occupational therapy presentation. Cincinnati State has actually been volunteering here in person every Wednesday. They actually came in yesterday and did some tie-dye with some of our members. So yeah, they've really been helping us out here at the center for the past few weeks and are going to continue for future weeks ahead. I don't know how many, but they're gonna be around, and they're all really sweet, really nice people. So they put together a little presentation about what occupational therapy is and their involvement here at the center. So we will play that one for y'all next. And then I think that will pretty much be the end of our symposium, and we will do a little bit of a raffle for those who have attended and who are attending currently.
Yes.
And it's going to be good stuff.
Sunny. I'm an occupation.
Okay, I started it too early. Sorry. Let me rewind it and share my screen.
I wonder if there's like a keyboard.
There probably is. There probably
I
is.
said keyboard.
All right, and we'll let the OT students take it away.
Hi, my name is Sunny. I'm an occupational therapy student at Cincinnati State.
I do want to say as well for this video that they all talk at very different levels, so you may need to turn up the volume on some of them, turn them back down on the other ones. Just giving y'all a heads up for that one.
My classmates and I, who you'll see in just a second in the rest of the video, are at Recovery Center for several weeks until mid-July. So thank you for having us here in your wellness symposium. We're excited. And we thought it makes sense to just start with what is OT? What is occupational therapy? So that is what we will be going over today, as well as something called SMART goals. So occupational therapy is not helping people find jobs. That's people's first instinct a lot when they hear occupation, which makes total sense. But occupational therapy looks at the meaningful activities that fill your days and your life throughout your life. So an occupational therapist might work with a baby who is having trouble lifting their chest up to play during tummy time. We might work with a teenager who is having some social issues at high school. We might work with someone who is in the middle of their life and they're changing careers and they're going through some like emotional distress or mental stress because of that. We might work with someone towards the end of their life who is having trouble performing self-care tasks like showering or, you know, doing their own hair. So if you think of the things you do with your day, from taking care of a pet, taking care of a child, driving to work, it could be related to doing your job. Almost anything that you do could be addressed with occupational therapy, which is really cool. And I think a good way to visualize this is with something called the Kawa model. So I'm going to show you a visual aid of that. All right, so this is the Kawa model. created by Dr. Michael Iwama. So forgive the messy scribble, but this is how I best understand the information. So the Kawa model, Kawa means river, looks at life as a river flowing into the ocean. So at the end of your life, you are in the ocean. And around you, the riverbanks, the kind of walls that form this river are your context and environment. So where you're born, your social network around you, these are your context and environment. These rocks that you see throughout the river are difficult life circumstances, so challenges you face from birth through the rest of your life. And they change the flow of the water. So if the water is your life, these challenges change the flow of it. These driftwood pieces are resources and attributes. So they can be positive or negative. They may be strengths that you have or personal things about you that make your life more challenging. We all have those. So these, kind of move through the river and they can be used to your advantage. And then we look at here open space. So where open water is possibility. So with an occupational therapy practitioner in the Kawa model, you're looking at the space and you're thinking, how can I use my attributes, my resources to navigate these difficult life circumstances and improve the flow of the water of my life. So I just think this is a really lovely way to visualize not only life, but occupational therapy and its goal.
I hope everyone's doing good today. We're going to talk about creating some SMART goals. We can use SMART goals to address many different aspects of our lives, such as education, behavior, work, and anything that we really want to improve on. So if you don't know what a SMART goal is, SMART is simply an acronym standing for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And each of these components comes together to create, plan, and achieve effective goals. So when we write a SMART goal correctly, it tells us exactly what needs to be accomplished, by when, and how we'll know when we've been successful. Using this approach, we eliminate the guesswork and generalities that often lead to goals becoming stagnant and ineffective. Using the SMART acronym, we can develop a clear timeline, making it easier to track our progress, and also any milestones we may have missed along the way that we need to address. So to start implementing the acronym of SMART, let's look at what specific entails. To be specific, our goal needs to be direct, detailed, meaningful. After all, if it isn't of importance to us, we're a lot less likely to consistently work towards it. But by creating that goal that's clear, it's a lot easier to achieve, and when it's specific, we know how and where to get started. So using action words is a great way to give ourselves a guide. And some helpful questions for creating a specific goal include asking ourselves the 5 W's, which are: who's involved? What do I want to accomplish? When do I want to achieve this? Where does my goal take place? And lastly, why is the goal important to me? If we can answer these questions, then we know our goal is specific enough to be achievable. So when we write a goal, if it's too broad, getting started towards achieving it can be very challenging. A good example of a goal that's not specific would be something like, I want to spend more time with my friends. This is too broad and it doesn't really tell me how to achieve it. So if I add action words, numbers, and deadlines, my goal will be a lot less intimidating. Now I can use the 5 W's to adjust this broad goal to make it achievable. So first, who is involved? That would be me and my friends, right? I could even be more specific and give each friend's name if I wanted. Next, what do I want to accomplish? That would be increased quality time with my friends, right? When do I want to achieve this? So right now it's the beginning of June, so your timeline can vary based on what your goal is. But I could say for this, I'd give myself a month to achieve it or so, so around July 15th to see if I've made progress. Where does my goal take place? Anyone that's tried to set up a time to hang out with your friends knows the endless conversation of, well, what do you want to do? I don't care. Well, what do you want to do? So how about I say my friends and I will spend quality time together each week at my house for dinner. It's a set place time. We know what we're going to do. Then, why is this goal important to me? Well, my friends are like family, and they give me support when I need to stay positive. So setting aside time to foster those special relationships is really important to me and a lot of other people. So, now that we've answered the 5 W's, instead of saying I want to spend more time with my friends, I can use SMART goal writing and say, I'll create a group chat with my friends, and each week I'll reach out to plan a dinner together at my house on Thursdays by July 15th. Now I've set a specific goal with an action plan that will allow me to be successful. Now we can move on to the second letter of our acronym.
The second letter of our SMART goal acronym is the letter M, and this stands for measurable. So in order to write and create a successful goal, it's important that your goal can be measured in some sort of way. This can be anything such as precise amounts or dates, and really anything to just tell if you've actually reached your goal. So sometimes if you don't set a way to measure your goal, it can cause you to procrastinate or push it off or just not do it altogether. So if there's a set way to measure if you've reached your goal, it gives you the satisfaction of being able to feel the success of reaching a goal and makes the overall process of goal writing a lot easier. So let's look at an example. Let's say your goal is that you want to start drinking more water every day, which is a great goal to have, but the word more isn't enough because how are you going to really distinguish if it's more than what you're currently drinking? So a way to make this more measurable would be to say, I want to be drinking 8 glasses of water a day by June, whatever the date is, 24th. And this gives you a really specific way to see if you've actually reached your goal because you can measure 8 glasses really specifically. Overall, when making a measurable goal, you really want to make sure that you're including how much of something you're going to do and when you're going to do it. And this gives you several key points to really make sure that you're staying on track for reaching your goal and taking it to the fullest potential you can. And the next letter in our SMART goal acronym is the letter A.
Okay, so after you have decided on the specific goal you want to work on, and you've figured out how to make your goal measurable, now it brings us to the A section, which stands for attainable. So when thinking about your goal and thinking about how to be most successful in achieving your goal, you want to think about how you can make this goal attainable. So how are you going to achieve this goal? What actions are you going to do to achieve this goal? And how can you make a plan to achieve the goal? So some examples of this are, if your goal is to drink 8 glasses of water a day, you made it specific, you figured out how to make it measurable, by keeping a log of how many glasses you drink each day. And so in the A section, we're going to say, what actions can I take to help me achieve this goal? So what you could do is set an alarm clock for the times of day you think you should drink the bottle of water, or you can have the 8 bottles filled up and ready to drink for the day. And when you're finished with the bottle, put it right back where the other bottles are so you can see how much you've drank for the day. So another thing you want to think about as far as the A section is that you're making a goal that's realistic and something that's possible for you to achieve. So, for example, if you have a goal to lose weight and your goal is to lose 20 pounds, you don't want to set a goal, to lose 20 pounds in a week. A much more attainable goal would be losing 20 pounds in 3 months. So that you just have to remember to make a goal that is something possible for you to do in a healthy way.
The next part that we will be considering in the SMART goals is the R. Now, the R stands for relevant, and for some people that may not understand what relevant means, it means to be closely connected or appropriate to what is being done or considered. Now, the 4 aspects that will be considered during this relevant process is to be reasonable, realistic, resourced, and results-based. Nobody sets a goal for the fun of it. This goal needs to matter, and you need to have significance behind it. Having the same goals as everyone else means that you have other people's goals that doesn't have much meaning behind it to improve for yourself. When setting a goal, ask yourself what this goal really means to you. If the goal matters to you, then making time in your schedule or in the budget to achieve the goal will make sense. Once you identify that key benefit, incorporate it into your SMART goal so that you can get a large picture, and then apply of how achieving it will help you and how it will contribute towards the goal. An essential component for these goals is that it's important that you want to reach these specific goals. Motivation can have an enormous impact on this goal process. When coming up with these relevant goals, begin by taking a look at your profile, such as history or experiences you're dealing with now, patterns of daily living, interests, environment, values, and your needs. Now, some questions that will be important to reference to during this process is this a worthwhile goal for me right now? Is it meaningful to me, or just something others think that I should do? Would it delay or prevent me from achieving a more important goal? And then, am I willing to commit to achieving to this goal? Considering all of these different components will help with clarification, provide direction, enhance your motivation if necessary, and providing the appropriate steps that is essential for moving forward. It will also help you guide into this goal setting and focusing your efforts to increase the chances of achieving your goals. It's important to our personal and professional needs to have these type of goals to keep us focused towards a positive, self-driven path.
The last letter of SMART for SMART goals is the letter T, which stands for time-based. Other resources may refer to it as timely, time-constrained, or time-bound. So what are time-based goals? Time-based goals are goals that you want to have achieved by a specific time date or completed within a certain time frame. For a goal to be time-based, it must have a starting and ending date for you to be able to track your progress in achieving your goal. It's basically setting a personal deadline for something you want to accomplish by a certain amount of time. It's important for goals to be time-based in order to know whether you are making good progress on your goals as time goes on. An example of a time-based goal could be making a goal to have walked 10 miles in a day by training over the course of a month. So let's say starting July 1st, I could plan to start walking every day. I begin walking 2 miles a day and gradually increase the distance by 1 mile every half a week for the whole month of July. Once the end of July rolls around, I will know whether I've met my goal of walking 10 miles in a day through training over a month, building up my endurance, because I will have tracked my progress and evaluated how I was doing on the deadline's date. Giving a goal a deadline is also a good motivator for reaching your goal, since it creates a sense of urgency and gives you something to focus on in order to reach your goal. Some questions to ask when creating time-based goals are, does my goal have a deadline? Some examples of a goal without a deadline could be, I'm going to learn guitar, or it could be, I'm going to become a better writer. These are good goals, but they don't have specific time deadlines for when you want that goal to be accomplished. So if your goal does not have a deadline, you could ask yourself, by when do I want to achieve my goal? How soon do I want to reach my goal? Is this goal something that's going to take more time or less time? When coming up with time-based goals, you can ask yourself, what can I do 6 months from now? Is there a specific project I want to have completed? Is there a special training I want to take? Is there a hobby I could pick up? Another question is, what can I do 6 weeks from now? This question is similar to the first one, but it's in a shorter time. So is there something that I want to accomplish that is doable in about 6 weeks? And then another question is, what can I do today? Similar to the previous ones, but basically ask, what are the things I can accomplish right now, or at least by the end of today? And then, what should I have achieved by the halfway mark of the time set for reaching my goal? So, something else that is helpful to add when creating time-based goals, especially with longer goals, is to add check-in times with dates. These check-in points can help you keep track of the smaller accomplishments you reach on your journey to completing your main goal. And that is T for time-based, which is useful for creating SMART goals.
All right, we want to send a thank you shout out to our occupational therapists that come into the center, because they're great. They do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, let us know what part was your favorite, you guys. I loved the Cabo River. That
was good.
The way that just like set it up so well, because I'm a very visual person.
Me too.
So seeing that kind of thing really helped me be like, oh, okay, like you're just flowing along. There's no rush. There's no, it's a very relaxing kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know that like if your life is a river and these rocks and such are like obstacles and different things in your path, the water eventually works around those things, right? Like we'll eventually grow around it, we'll go over it.
We'll erode them,
right? So like any kind of life obstacle that you get into or anything that happens, like you are resilient and you are flowing and you are able to get through it and do the hard work and get past all of the challenges. So I really love how everything kind of wrapped up, everything in the symposium, like we were talking about it and solidified it. And that's what we were talking about, why the OT students were presenting, is that it really feels like everything was so cohesive. It went together. I opened it up with the how picture can help calm you and bring back on your thinking brain. And picture was like a huge theme that everyone used in their presentations, from Cheryl to Fred to even the OT students. So it's really good stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoyed, like you were saying, like it kind of reminded me of like those food webs that you see where like things are all connected for different reasons. Like we talked a lot about choice today. We talked about control. We talked about, being sound like spiritually and mentally and working on that amongst yourself and how you work with that with others. And your future and the past that, we've obviously all experienced with COVID, and just how we have become people through it, how we're going to continue to become people through it, and how that can be really good. And I mean, I created this wonderful thing.
What did you say, Beatrice?
Yes, this is Beatrice, my
fancy swan.
I'm gonna apologize to Mary. I tried very hard. I also gave her like a little fancy purple thing, but like there was stuff that made us laugh today. There was stuff that made us really think deeply
and ground ourselves and really help us in our own recovery.
Exactly,
which is great.
And that's the important thing, is recovery is laughing, is thinking deeply, is like earlier with the ebb and flow thing where we just looked at each other and were like, oh my god, it's there's those breakthroughs, there's everything like that. And so it's so multifaceted.
And recovery is not a one size fits all. It looks different for everybody, and as we saw throughout this whole symposium, it is different for everybody. For Johnny, it's exercising. For Cheryl, it's yoga. For Fred, it's anchoring himself spiritually. You know, all of these things are still very much rooted in recovery, in mental health recovery or substance use recovery. It's all super important. And especially after this past year that we've all had with this new collective trauma, it's so important that we focus on our recovery now more than ever. And really just know what helps us and know what keeps pushing us forward.
And to rebuild that foundation, because if it crumbled a little bit during COVID, now is such a vital time to say, you know what, I'm not going to let this continue to crumble. I'm going to build it up, and I'm going to build it up with stronger materials, and I'm going to, you know, put a nice garden around it. Like, you want to make it have strength and everything. Also, thank you, Kathy. I know my swan Beatrice is waiting.
And I want to open the floor for anyone who has questions, comments, anything that they want to say for our last few minutes. And if you do, everyone is free to unmute. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to unmute. While you do that, I'm going to get up our registration, do a little bit of a raffle. Oh, it looks like Chris wants to come on and say something.
No, I just was unmuting just to listen. And
you can't win the raffle unless you want my beautiful swan.
Maybe I'll enter for that.
I was waiting. I was like, there's some hesitation there. And for those of you who don't know, Chris right here is the executive director of the Recovery Center of Hamilton County. He's the brains behind the operation currently, and we are so happy to have him. And he's a wonderful boss to both of us.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for putting the symposium together. And thank you to everybody who has joined, and just thrilled to be able for the Recovery Center to offer this. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so anyone else is free to unmute if they have any questions or anything. Chris is here to answer any specific questions, niche questions that you have about the center itself. So
I'll pull up the random number generator.
Yeah, pull up a random number generator. I'm gonna get the registration.
Fabulous.
For the raffle.
So yeah, if anyone has anything that they, you know, tell us what you really loved. Tell us what really, you know, struck a chord with you. Let us know. We want to, like we said earlier, we want to hear so that we know for next year and everything like that, that we can ensure that these symposiums truly have an impact on everyone that comes to them.
And that people get the resources and the things that they really, really need.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm downloading it so we have the best possible option for prizes.
All right. How many people do we have?
Okay, so we have 20 people registered, and we have, thanks Linda, we have 10 people back on here. So
do we
really, we have to do all, we have to really jump through all these hoops. And this is what I'm going to do because I don't like jumping through Microsoft's hoops because I always have to. We're going to do it this way because this is how I roll. All right.
I just love the intense clicking every couple seconds.
All right. Okay, so do we have the random number generator ready to go?
So I'm doing 1 to 21.
Yes, 1 to 21 is our numbers.
All right, drum roll.
Number 20, which I think, oh wait, go back to here, is Eric Edwards. So give it up for Eric, you guys. He is the winner of our raffle for today. I know that he was here earlier in the day. And so great job. We will give Eric a gift card.
Yes.
Do we know how much or where to, Chris, yet? Or is that still in the works?
Eric is at the Mighty Vine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Perfect.
And how many gift cards are you giving away?
3.
3? How about 3 $25 gift cards?
Cool. Sounds great.
All right.
Does that work?
Sounds good.
Sounds fabulous.
All right, what is our next random number, Emily? Oh, sorry. 2 is Jeanette Smith. Woo!
Oh, wait, no, wait.
Oh, no, wait. No, yeah, we'll just keep it that way. Because the first one would have been me. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work.
So you can't teach Jeanette and then pull that.
I was
from her.
about to be like, wait, what?
No, you win. You won. You're good. You did win. Yay! All right, we have one more. Are we ready? 19 is Jennifer Mullins. Yay! Great, fantastic. I'm so excited. So we have Eric, Jeanette, and Jennifer all winning gift cards. Thank you guys so much for coming. We do have your emails, and I think Chris knows where all of you are located, so we can get those to you in a timely manner. And yeah, I think that's it for us, right?
Yeah. Can I mail those to you and you get those out to Jennifer and Jeanette?
Oh, what he said. Kathy, you're muted. He was asking Kathy if she could mail them.
Oh, I didn't
give them to
Kathy, can I mail those? Can I mail the gift cards to you and get those to Jennifer and Jeanette, or?
Yeah, you can mail them to me. Sure.
Yeah,
no, over.
No, you'll never see him again, Jeanette. I don't believe that.
Sure. Amy and I will use them. Thank you guys. We enjoy it. We had quite a few members in and out throughout the day too. So
awesome.
Thank you for all your work.
Great day.
Thank you. And I'll get those off in the mail probably on Monday. I'll get those mailed up to you and get them out to Jeanette and Jennifer.
Thank you. You guys rock. Great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, I think that is it for us for our Rebuilding Your Wellness Virtual Symposium, our second ever Virtual Wellness Symposium. And that concludes our time here today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And don't forget to get involved. And you can do that by visiting recoverycenterhc.org.
And links are on the Recovery Center website if you want to look at the link. Maybe the slides from Melissa on there as well. So any of the info from today, you are more than welcome to go look at the website and see what we have.
Yeah, and we will have this Virtual Wellness Symposium uploaded and on YouTube probably by Monday.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Great week. Thank you.
Bye. All right, great.